Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Boxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I don't want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record for being with you.
My job, I know my job, I know my situation. I want to fight. But it's gonna be very difficult for both of us.
Boxingvoice.com.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Today we're going to be talking a little Lomachenko, Vasyl Lomachenko, ESPN's and pretty much everyone's pound-for-pound fighter. Made quick and easy work of Miguel Marriaga. We're going to discuss Claressa Shields and her multiple title win yesterday, and a possible matchup with Christina Hammer, I believe her name is. We're also going to talk Mauricio Herrera, the dog living to fight another day in a controversial win. Obviously, we'll touch on and recap All Access Episode 2, as well as other headlines in today's news. So we're going to jump on out to my co-host out in the Golden State.
Daladi Vinyasi production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that! Conor McGregor.
Boxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rope into a knockout. When the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
Boxingvoice.com.
Yes, the hipsters here. Haters beware. Interesting weekend of boxing. Not really, I would say, super eventful, to say the least. It was a lot of showcases or mismatches. We obviously had the All Access Episode 2 for Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor on Friday. We did a media reaction to that, but we're going to cover some more interesting narratives from that show, from Paulie Malignaggi's exit from the camp. So can't wait to get into that as well. Like you said, Claressa Shields versus Christina Hammer, most likely next year in the summertime or fall. Can't wait for that. I think that's going to be a fantastic matchup. Man, there's just a ton of news to get to. Lomachenko versus Marriaga, of course, was the premier event of the weekend. Just, not saying much, though. But Lomachenko outclassed him. Clearly is a elite boxer and clearly deserves to be in the discussion for top 10 pound for pound, to say the least. I can't wait to chop up with you, Ness, and the callers.
Yeah, man. I mean, let's jump right into it. Live on ESPN at 9 o'clock. Well, at 10 p.m. Eastern time, which makes it 8. What is it for you guys over there?
7.
Yeah, 7. Okay. Now there was a big problem though, and we have to speak of that confusion because that was a little bit. It pissed me off, and I'm sure it confused quite a lot of people. When we went to channel 12 here in my area, which was ESPN HD, the main ESPN where this fight with Vasyl Lomachenko and Marriaga were supposed to take place, what was there seemed to be like a live football draft? I don't know because I never really seen
Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Hall of Fame induction.
So that's what it was. It was a bunch of guys, and I felt like it were football players, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Thank God for Matt, because it was like 20 minutes in, and I'm just thinking, well, even my girl, she's like, what's going on? I thought you were watching. I'm like, yeah, ESPN does that. Our sport is second tier, so right now this is more important. We're probably going to start delayed. And I'm there 10:20, bro, nothing yet. And I find out.
The point is, like, there's no big, like, at the very bottom, like, go to this channel to watch Top Rank. There wasn't a big, real graphic notice on the screen. They did add that, I think, maybe like 30 minutes into it when it was obvious it was going to take a while. I mean, it was what, like an hour into the telecast?
probably when they noticed the numbers, Matt. When they seen that the numbers, it was like, wait a minute, it's only like 10,000 people here. What the fuck is going on? And I think someone's like, oh, we forgot to share. We forgot to tell them we're not on this channel today. It was a bit bad, but luckily it was only the undercards, right? I don't even remember who was on the undercard. Actually, it was Beltran. Was it Beltran, or did they show someone before Beltran?
No, it was a couple fights, and then it was Beltran. It was a while till we got it on actual ESPN.
Oh, yeah. It was after midnight, bro. It was like 12:40 over here by the time Lomachenko actually got in the ring. I didn't understand that. But whatever, man. You know, I'm not going to complain about that. We'll get into Lomachenko and his performance. I mean, it's what I expected from him. He obviously outclassed Marriaga. He didn't make it as close as a fight as, let's say, someone like Valdez made it. Not that Valdez had it close either, but, you know, obviously Lomachenko, you know, separated himself in this fight. The only thing that was exciting in this fight was Terrence Crawford tweet that followed during the matchup after witnessing Vasyl. And to quote Terrence, he stole my move. When Vasyl was tapping Marriaga on the head, that is obviously what Terrence Crawford did to Felix Diaz back in December. I think that was it. I don't know when it was. Matt probably knows. But Felix Diaz. So, you know, again, he showed his skills, Matt. I just don't know what to make of it. You know, it was a bit, again, frustrating, maybe even disgusting. I questioned to myself, I said, why is Bernardo Osuna and everyone so pro Lomachenko? And then I said, you know what, Ness? You're the hater. You're the hater. This guy is pound for pound. He only has 9 fights. Look at his resume. Even a guy like Marriaga, who's moving up in one division, is still a decent name on Lomachenko's resume when you think about the fact that he only has 9 fights, because guess what? Marriaga is a common opponent with a lot of other big names. It's not like he's moving up a guy from 126 you never heard of. It's actually a guy that you at least knows can handle himself. Did he ever have a shot? Absolutely not. This was a showcase, and I think Vasyl did do that, even though I was bored. I know that Bob Arum used the quote something like, Vasyl Lomachenko is everything Mayweather was, but he gets the stoppage. And I guess he's getting it. He's only 9-0, right? I mean, we'll see as the level of opposition continues to move up. Did he stop Gary Russell?
I mean, 9-1, obviously.
Did he stop Gary Russell?
No, he did not stop Gary Russell.
Did he stop Salido?
No, well, he lost to Salido, so how could he stop him?
Who did he fight? Did he stop?
Roman Martinez.
Oh, yeah.
It's that one nice right hook knockout punch that
one knockout that everybody already has, that Salido had and that Mikey had, right? I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Well, Salido didn't knock out Roman Martinez. I think Mikey may have. I forget.
Salido definitely had like a 3-peat with that dude, though.
Yeah, Salido had like a trilogy with him. But I thought Lomachenko did exactly what we expect him to do. Marriaga is known for his toughness and his durability. He faced heavy hitters like Nicholas Walters and Oscar Valdez and made it all 12 rounds and was competitive in those fights, you know, to be honest. So for Lomachenko to go in there, pitch a shutout, really, outclass him in every way, make him look like a pure amateur, maybe even a novice, it was bad. I think that does look good. But again, that's what we expected because we know Lomachenko is good. We know Lomachenko has the skills to be a true A-level boxer. That's why the fans get upset with matchups like this. Because we don't want to see this. Because we know we're going to get this every time. We're going to get the Roman Martinez's every time. We know that. We're tired of that. We want something different. We want a Salido again. We want something that's going to excite us. Because this really wasn't exciting for anyone. Let's be honest. Unless you're a big Lomachenko fanboy, diehard stan, which, hey, everyone has their thing. You're not going to sit here and go, man, this was a great fight. No, you're going to say, man, he just put on a fucking clinic. And it wasn't even, I wasn't enjoyed by it. I didn't find excitement from it. It was too one-sided.
Correcting myself, Salido never stopped Roman Martinez, and he actually lost to Roman and then had a draw.
Yes.
That's sad.
Well, no, Roman Martinez at one point was a very durable fighter. You have to remember that, and those fights took a lot out of him. We also have to think about that.
Okay.
That does happen to fighters where a fight or a series of fights completely ruins them. We've seen it time and time again.
So they asked Lomachenko who he wanted next. He didn't name any names.
Of course not.
He had the opportunity. He didn't name any names. He was pushed.
Which is consistent. He's always been doing that. He really hasn't been calling out anyone.
I don't get it. I mean, he's happy. You got to be honest. He's content. 750,000 for guys like Marriaga. You know, come on. And you know, they made it public on ESPN that Salido turned down 750. And right away, I almost got mad. I'm like, man, Salido's fucking crazy. Then I thought to myself, well, they gave Rigo 750 when he fought Nonito. So I said, well, man, those were two back then considered 2 pound for pounds, right? Or one was on the pound for pound and the other one was attempting or something like that.
And Donaire was probably a bigger star than a lot of these guys.
Who?
Donaire at that time was a bigger star.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, just gauging it from that, I'm like, well, I guess 750 for Salido's good, and that probably would be his career high. I'm not sure, but I wanna say maybe that, because 750 sounds like a lot for Salido. Like I don't think that he got that in the Juan Manuel Lopez days. Because he was the B side going in, then he beat Lopez, so obviously he was the A side. But I don't know if that trumped him to 750 way back then.
I have no idea what he was getting paid back then. It would be pure speculation.
Yeah, exactly. It would be difficult to. I don't know. 750 sounds decent though for that division, right? Like you figure anything under 140, it's kind of hard to give you a million.
And again, I've said this a lot of times. If that's the first number being offered, I'm okay with people rejecting the first offer. That's called negotiations.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, look,
you're always supposed to ask for a higher number.
He rejected and he ended up not even getting the fight. That's why we had Marriaga, you know, because we get upset that we had Marriaga, but like, let's be fair. He at least tried to avenge his loss.
Yes, he did. I like I said, I don't think there's a case of ducking here. You can say it's cherry picking.
Neither do I. I'm not even. I didn't insinuate that. I'm just saying like he at least tried to avenge it and offer the guy 750, and I think that's fair. You know, I think it's fair.
And let's be honest, guys like Burchell, guys like Gervonta Davis aren't calling him out. Or you know, in Gervonta Davis's case, he is actually saying stuff to not fight Lomachenko. So we can't really bash him for not getting a champion, but we can bash him for not getting at least a 130 pounder. Like you had to bring a guy up a division who was off a loss.
I mean, who would have really took it like that short notice? Marriaga had 4 weeks, bro. 4 weeks. I mean, let's check it out, right? Before we move on the topic, let's give him a little bit more time, Lomachenko. Easter obviously couldn't take it. Wait, no.
Yeah, what do you?
Why is Salido ranked so high? That's weird. He was ranked at 35 on BoxRec anyway. I know you hate BoxRec, but I love it.
I don't like the rankings.
I mean, no, we understand that their rankings are based on points, but they're still organized and very update. They update every day, you know, every second probably.
How about this way? If you just want to look at like 30 welterweights, go to BoxRec because it has the.
That's what I'm doing. I want to look at 30, you know, 130 pounders, right? So we got, you know, he couldn't have fought Burchell. He couldn't have fought Corrales. He beat Walters. He beat Sosa. Francisco was damaged. Davis ain't beat. Castellano already just fought. Pedraza is, you know, cannon fodder.
Doesn't Pedraza have a fight lined up with like Mickey Bay or something like that?
Or was
that just rumored?
I don't think it was Mickey Bay. I see Mickey Bay scheduled with someone else.
Then who was it?
In already. I don't want to say it's Pedraza. It's like 2 dudes that been out for a while. Let me Google.
I got it.
Oh, you got it. All right. So I'll keep going down the list. And Johnny Gonzalez. I mean, please, no. We need to see something before that. Edna Cherry. Did you really want to see that? I don't know. I mean, there's no.
But here's the thing. It's like, is Edna Cherry any worse than Marriaga, or is Marriaga any better than Edna Cherry? At least Edna Cherry has been with some guys that I would say are a little bit better. But you can even say the same about Marriaga. Like, it's just
I don't even know, bro. You know what? He's got to go. He's got to move up. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if he could get a Burchell fight,
It was Mickey Bay. It was
Morales, Mickey Bay, and who though? Pedraza?
Yeah, it was rumored. I don't think it's nothing became official.
No. But what's Mickey Bay? Mickey Bay, check box right. Mickey Bay is scheduled already. I got a release on it.
Oh, Anthony Peterson. That's right.
I told you. That's finally a good fight. You know, that's not on the topic, but we're gonna give it. You know, we haven't seen Anthony Peterson, and God bless his soul. I hope they don't fucking kick me out the camp. But we haven't seen him in a real fight since Brandon Rios hit him with all those low blows. Or actually, he hit Brandon Rios with all those low blows on HBO, and they kind of stepped him back. And I've been following his career because, you know, I'm in this tri-state area, which, you know, I take those trips to D.C. Not that that's in the tri-state, but I go down there and I get to see him live every here and, you know, now and again. He always gets touched up. I don't know if he's just got, you know, matte kind of skin or he just really, you know, is not good defensively. But that's a good fight. You know, I'm happy to see him in there with Mickey Bay. I like Mickey Bay. I don't know what happened. He's so inconsistent. You know that Mickey Bay is from Ohio. And, you know, if you followed his career, it's always been like this, hiccup after hiccup. And I'm talking about he takes like year layoffs, this dude. Signing with TMT was the best thing that happened to him. He started to get active, and then all of a sudden he got shelved after that Molina thing, right? I don't know. Did he come back after the Molina thing? John Molina Jr. when he starts them in the last round?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. John Molina did him just like he did Hank Lundy once upon a time.
No, I remember that fight. I remember the John Molina fight. I don't remember afterwards.
Remember that? Mickey Bay beating the crap out of John Molina, salutes Floyd in the audience and gets tagged. It was over. But Claressa Shields, bro. Whoa. Okay? Whoa. Katie Taylor looks good, and Claressa does too. Unfortunately, they're not even in that division. I mean, this Christina Hammer person. Now, this is the thing, right? She looks good comparing her to men. I'm not comparing her to her opposition last night. I'm really not. I'm comparing the way she's snapping a jab compared to any other boxer that I've seen. And her jab is serious, bro. And she likes to mix it up. Her combinations, her speed. I mean, and again, I don't know what to say. Congratulations to her. She won 2 titles last night or Friday night. I never seen Nikki Adler. I don't know anything about her. I just know that she looked really old. But I'm not mad. These things are part of boxing. This is how you bring up these prospects.
It's her 4th fight. I mean,
yeah, no. I mean, she did a Lomachenko
title. It was for a title too, or for 2 titles. I should say.
I mean, but she did a Lomachenko and a Rigondeaux, but on a different level because I mean her division.
Yeah, because the division depth and 100%.
Yeah, I don't want to lie, but I think they said something like her division only has like 26 people, right? So like, not hard to be the best in that. Not that she's not good, obviously, because you know she showed that. Friday. Again, the combinations, jab, the patience. I'm so happy I remember. Oh, my God. I'm so happy. I remember everything boxing. I wanted to speak about this. In the Claressa Shields fight, what was the biggest drop the ball you seen? You didn't even see it. I bet you no one saw it.
I saw it.
Oh, you see it?
Are you talking about Chris Cyborg?
No. I'm telling you, none of you guys seen it. Every single fucking listener listening right now didn't see it. They're going to go press rewind on their DVR and they're like, holy shit, Ness. That's insane. That's how good she is, Claressa Shields. She was so excited she went into the fucking ring with no mouthpiece. That whole first round, all that fucking action was mouthpieceless. I'm shocked her tongue isn't on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Or her lip wasn't ripped open. Because it's not like she didn't get hit or punches weren't thrown. I mean, you know, again, we don't know what this Adler person was, but that mouthpiece, it was crazy. Then you go back to the corner, right? And she goes to the corner and she tells the trainer, like, oh my God, forgot the mouth. He was like, oh man, that was a big mistake, man. We made a big mistake. It's funny. You can hear it on the telecast. It's hilarious, but I cannot believe that, you know, that happened. But man, she was like a machine, bro. She's just she was obviously too much for that person. It was an opportunity to become a champion. There was a lot of confusion for me though, man. I don't follow women's boxing any more than what you hear here, right? So there were like a dozen or so titles in the ring. I mean, even fucking Chris Cyborg brought her UFC title or whatever that was. Was it a Strikeforce title? I don't even know. I mean, Christina Hammer came with her own WBC. Claressa Shields walked in with 2 WBCs. And speaking of walked in, what the fuck was that? The female version of Broner walking in with her own rapper? I don't know. And then she was dancing. And you know, we did the fucking live fight chat. Like, please, dog. Like, coming from the hole to the ring was only 25 feet. So, like, ring walk with a rapper, it just don't work. So they were going with the super duper slow road to the ring so she could say the whole verse. I'm just like, this is a fiasco for sure. I mean, and then, multiply the fucking mouthpiece thing, and then Adler's stomach. Did you see her stomach? That shit was like one of those, circus freak shows where the woman does her belly, makes it wave. That's what the fuck she had going on down there is all I'm saying. I don't know. That wasn't fighting shape. I'm just keeping it real. You can shake your head all you want. I don't know what they're going to continue to find these type of, unfit moms to get in the ring. Like, yo, she had a little, a baby pouch. Like, she was off her little, all right, Matt, you don't get my humor. Whatever. I mean, she did look like she belonged with a fucking stroller in the park or something, not in the ring. I'm just saying. I'm not discrediting Claressa because she looked amazing. Comparing her to men, that's how good she looked. Like, you can't compare it to women. She looked that good. Like, I did watch Katie Taylor the week before or whatever, or this weekend, right? But so she looked as good, but Claressa looks mean, man. Mean. That jab, I love it. Man, am I bothering? I'm pissing Matt off over here, I think. He didn't like the baby pouch comment.
The problem with boxing, like we said, is that it's not really deep. There's no depth to any of these divisions. And I think Katie Taylor, Claressa Shields, what was her name that debuted on Saturday night? Michaela something, I believe. She was an Olympian in 2016. I forget her name. I'm sorry. But she's very active on social media. She has a big social media following. These women right now that are coming into the sport, they're going to be the ones that really spawn some depth in women's boxing. You're going to get a lot of little girls watching them and being inspired to take up boxing. You're going to have that Ronda Rousey effect like in MMA. I think that's going to be interesting. In about 10 years' time, it's going to be very interesting to see the depth of women's boxing.
Quick interruption. I was right. I was wrong. I said 26 middleweights. Or she's a super middleweight, right?
Yeah, super middleweight.
So yeah, there's 23, not 26. And again, give her credit. She knocked out someone that was undefeated, never been stopped. So, I mean, like, that's why the girl was old. She'd been reigning for a long time. That's my attempt at humor again. I hope you guys don't think I'm taking shots at Claressa because I'm not. Like, she looked great. I'm just saying the opponent was like, whatever. We could take a little bit of shots, keep it funny. Like Herrera, right? Like, both of these guys were.
That fight was so bad.
Yo, the build up to this fight was, I'm going to die in the ring or retire. And I'm like, okay. That is, they're going to lay it on the line.
Please don't die in the ring.
It didn't translate. No, I mean, that's all Karass kept saying. The thing is, you don't know Spanish. That's all he kept saying. He was like, this fight for me is do or die. Like, I'm going to die in the ring, But he came prepared. Did you feel like some of the writers, they were kind of saying that Karass got jobbed?
I'll be honest. My recording of the fight cut out at round 10, midway through round 10. So I missed the last couple rounds. But I thought Karass was doing better work throughout, to be honest. I thought they both looked shot. That fight was so boring to watch, in my opinion. I hate seeing two old men fight. Nothing more uninteresting to me than seeing two old men fight.
Those first couple of rounds, though, Herrera was pretty active, bro. He was landing a lot of combinations. He's pretty nice with that stab jab to the body. What he does is he jabs you to the body, then he comes right up quickly. Like, he doesn't take a step back and hits you with the face jab. You know what I mean? He's going up. Instead of up, down, he's going down, up.
Herrera's like a poor man's Paulie.
He was killing Karass, though, with that jab. You know what I mean? Karass just seemed to be more conditioned than him, but I hear you, man. You didn't see it. He got the win. It was controversial. Hopefully our listeners can, I don't know, tell us which way they sided with that one.
Or do you even want to see these guys still box? Like, do they move the needle for anyone?
You know, I was thinking that, and I said to myself, Berto needs that Karass fight. Berto, he's not like very important to people right now. So it would be a perfect time for him to get an avenge fight. Like, you know, if you're Andre Berto, you know, the guy that's made it to the mountain top with Floyd, you know, you have this chip on your shoulder, you know, your Instagram portrays a certain lifestyle. I mean, I wonder if you want to avenge that loss, or you could take the Lomachenko route. I mean, Lomachenko let ESPN know that, like, yo, I've done other things. I don't need to avenge that anymore. And, you know, quite honestly, I can see an argument for that when you think like, all right, well, Rocky Martinez beat Salido and then Vasyl beat Martinez. So it's like, yo, I've been there, done that. I got 2 titles after that loss. It is what it is. But I hear the argument, no, give them the rematch. The same reason why I'm saying Berto and Karass, they could do a rematch just to satisfy their egos. For Karass, it'll be another big payday at least. So, you know, for those that are going to say, hell no, if you at least like Karass, at least it's another big payday, especially off of this. If you thought he got jobbed off the Herrera, I mean.
I'll put it this way. I think Berto still has not more left in the tank, but he definitely can contend with maybe like the lower half of the top 10 in the welterweight division in a much more, I don't know, competitive way. Karass doesn't belong with anyone close to the top 10. Let's just be honest. Like, I know, I forget who I was talking about, the winner of this fighting. I don't
think he won then, because I don't know. I mean, yesterday he didn't look as bad as you're trying to make him sound. Like, yesterday he kind of looked like, I mean, maybe I need to go back and watch it, but I mean, was it yesterday or Friday? I don't know. The point is he kind of looked like fresher is the best word I can use. He looked fresh.
I think he looked in better shape in this fight than the last one with Common Guy. I think that's really the only difference. He came in better shape. He came in a little bit leaner with less fat on him. That's the only thing I saw. But again, neither of these guys are going to be a champion or contend for a title, or at least they shouldn't. So they can keep fighting at this level, and I'm okay with that. But I really don't want to see you guys on main event ESPN. I think that's ridiculous. These guys need to be either on the undercard or third fight from the top. Like, they can't be the main event of a ESPN card.
Yo, I want to double back to the women's boxing. I didn't know that Mariciela Cornelio was in that division. Why the fuck she never tried to get a shot at Nikki Adler?
I don't know. I don't follow women's boxing.
Bro, she's number 3. Clarissa's number 1. Like, that fight makes obvious sense. Now, I don't know if it makes only sense to me because I'm such a, you know, my life is on social media, so I follow it from all platforms, and maybe the common boxing fan doesn't know Mariciela Cornelio, but I mean, I guess if you're on IG, you gotta know her, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's an obvious fight. I mean, especially when it's slim pickings in this women's division. Like, I at least know that name. I didn't even think that name was in her division. So that is a little bonus. And I hope, Claressa, you stuck around this long, you know, when they sent you over here, trying to tell you I was dogging you when I was not. I know they're going to try and misconstrue shit. I think you look phenomenal. Look, I'm even trying to matchmake you. So, All Access, episode 2. We did an immediate reaction. Thank you to everyone that thumbs up that show and shared it. It got phenomenal numbers. So thank you for that. Me and the Hipster appreciate it. It was the most exciting and eventful, filled with drama and suspense for sure. That you know, that cut when the director is just showing McGregor pace back and forth with that title headgear, and you're like, oh my God, are they really going to show it? Are we going to get to see Paulie? I thought it was going to be untraditional, and they were going to show it because of what this event is and the doubt that we, the viewing public, have in McGregor. It would have been good to show a couple of hands landed on Paulie, you know, kind of tied in with all the internet drama that was going on as far as to whether he did put hands on McGregor or McGregor did drop him and then him quitting. It would have been smart of them to just show McGregor getting some favorable shots on Showtime. Do you think it would have helped? And what was your thoughts on that episode, obviously?
I think it obviously would have helped. And again, when the episode dropped, Paulie already left the camp at that point, right? Because of the picture that was leaked.
Yeah. Then
I see no problem. I see actually. I was surprised because I thought for sure we were gonna get a last minute edit on this episode. Mayweather was gonna go in there with the UFC and put some footage in because Paulie left already. The damage was done because of the photo, so you can put the footage out there or at least favorable footage and then sell the fight. But that didn't happen. I don't know if we're ever going to get that. I know Brett Okamoto from ESPN is saying that we're probably never going to get it. I usually trust Brett Okamoto when it comes to UFC and his contacts in the UFC. But I don't know. I could definitely see Conor, if he did well or decent, and he goes out there and puts on he lands one shot on Mayweather that gets the crowd riling, and he still loses, I can see him posting it after the Mayweather fight. But, I mean, I wasn't let down by not seeing it. It was more of same old shit, Mayweather never shows his sparring, so it was the same old shit. Nothing was new.
Well, I mean, we say that, but in actuality, Mayweather has almost hours worth of sparring out. He does pick and choose. He's actually live streamed that one time. He live streamed an entire 30-minute sparring session. So Mayweather does put some out. And again, it would have probably served Conor well to do the same. But yeah, it was interesting that episode, not interesting because we knew all episodes were dropping on Friday, but Paulie choosing to quit Friday morning only to amplify that episode. I wonder what the numbers are like. Has that full episode gone out on Showtime yet on their YouTube?
I've seen it on YouTube on other accounts, not the official accounts, and they have 3 million views.
What? 3 million on a pirated account?
It was 2.4 the last time I checked. I can look right now.
Wow, on a pirated account. That is impressive. I'm surprised it's not even flagged yet. Claressa Shields highlights has 47,000 on Showtime. I want to applaud Showtime and Steven Espinoza. I know that Conor McGregor famously gave him the name Weasel, but let's be honest. I don't know how far back you go into this boxing thing, Matt, but once upon a time, Steven Espinoza used to be just the simple lawyer of Golden Boy. He worked with Golden Boy to obviously other capacities, and then when Heyman and Golden Boy as a team went to Showtime, Espinoza then got that sports executive job, and we thought he was a puppet. And I think people still think he's a puppet for Heyman. You'll get those pessimists, those negative people that, were mad Karass and Herrera had a fight on TV yesterday or Friday. Those people, yeah, they probably, feel that way. But Espinoza's been able to do some things when you think about it in the grand scheme of things now. Going back to 2000, I don't know what, 12 maybe is when it started.
That was the start of it. 2013 was the real explosion of Showtime.
But that was a bad year for Showtime. People were pointing the finger, right? Or was it 14? It was the first year
13 was Mayweather Canelo. Danny Garcia, Lucas Matisse. That was that year.
I know that there was a year that people were like, Showtime fucked up.
It was the year that Richard Schaefer left Golden Boy, and then it sort of came out that Al Heyman had signed had contracts with Golden Boy that were really
probably 14.
Yeah, I think it was 2014. I think you're right.
So the point is, the weasel, as Conor likes to call him, isn't really a weasel. He's been sitting in that chair giving us some damn good fights. Going back to Canelo, Mayweather, Garcia, Lucas, and everything you're getting now. I mean, so yeah, he's really changed things over there for sure, and shown that at the very least, you can count on Showtime to be invested in the next year. I mean, we don't even know what's next for HBO. I mean, all this Top Rank stuff is now on ESPN. And again, when I was watching the telecast, I'm like, yo, fucking HBO. But I'm like, wait, no, this is Bernardo Suna. Maybe Lomachenko's just that good, and everyone really thinks he's on the pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this is not propaganda. Maybe what I've been taught to believe is wrong. And, HBO isn't the broadcast team. Things are still being said in the same manner. But where does that leave HBO, though? Like, we don't know their budget. We don't know what's on the table for them. What are they doing?
Well, we know some of their budget. Like, we know their Game of Thrones. Like, we know some of their budget. And we do know their boxing budget. We do. We do have numbers on that.
Still 28 mil?
I believe for what? For Game of Thrones or boxing?
No, boxing for the year.
Boxing, I believe, is 28 million, yeah.
Man.
And I believe Game of Thrones is...
What's that put them? Like $2 million a month?
Yeah.
So that's why you don't have boxing every month. You know what I mean? Just imagine that. If all
that $2 million has to pay production, commentary, fighters, all this extra thing.
I doubt that. I think that's just the site fee. I think that's just what they buy. I mean, that would suck.
Well, you don't think HBO pays the commentators and the production crew?
Oh, of course, but what I'm saying is that boxing budget, I don't think they. I mean, I guess it does make sense for the commentators to get paid, the boxing commentators to get paid from the boxing budget. But man, normally the last time I heard the 28 mil, it was for fights. I could be wrong, we're not privy to that. We would have to ask Thomas Hauser or somebody who's I don't know is he still, what do you call him, a consultant to HBO. That's when I believe they were going to start to make the good fights. And Thomas becoming a consultant at HBO at least pushed that Triple G era. I don't know if you ever follow Thomas Hauser, the author.
Yeah, I do.
Then he works on Ali and stuff like that. He did like this mythical middleweight division when Sergio Martinez was the true champ, and Gennady Golovkin was not even a thought. Hauser did this article with about, 20 other writers that turned into some sort of graph, and they kind of predicted how the middleweight division would end up. And it's scary because they predicted it exactly the way that it was at a time when Canelo was not there, nor was Triple G. But yeah, any other headlines you want to get to before we open it up?
No, I really didn't see that many, to be honest. It's kind of been a slow week from what I've seen, unless anything broke recently. But very quickly, though, there's a couple things I remember. We had a couple more retirements. Timothy Bradley retired. Yeah.
How'd you take it? How'd you receive that? I seen it this morning on Instagram. I seen his Instagram, which saddened me. He only had 60,000 followers. I was just like, wow. But I know why. Bradley was always hard. Like, we've had him here on this show, but he was always hard to get. His wife doesn't answer texts, and they're not active on any social media. He used to be back in the day. And when him and Alexander first started their little fight when they were both undefeated, but he fell off. He's a family guy. And that's kind of how he went out in his Instagram retirement posts. Like, I just want to be with the fam. Which kind of sucks, though, man. There was still at least one or two fights we could have made. Like, politics aside, I would have liked to see Bradley with a couple of people. You know what I mean? Maybe Thurman. I would have loved to see maybe Thurman.
I wouldn't have liked that. I wouldn't have liked that.
Why not? Thurman probably can't knock him out. Thurman hasn't been knocking people out, and Bradley's a good boxer, bro, with good agility.
We also see Bradley sort of, slip a little, I would say, in his last few fights. Little ways, not big ways. I wouldn't say he shot or anything like that, but we saw him slip in ways that he usually didn't. I do think that Provodnikov fight really did change him in a lot of ways. And he's talked about it openly, how that fight, the concussions he had from that fight, did adversely affect him for probably the rest of his life. Let's be honest. He's probably a guy that's going to have CTE one day. And I know that's sad and depressing to talk about, but he's a prime case for somebody with CTE. The amount of wars he's been, the amount of shots he's taken from legends, heavy hitters. I'm looking through his resume right now, man. The guy's a legend. I mean, I know there's some people saying, oh, it depends on the ballot he's in. He may or may not be in the Hall of Fame. This guy's an automatic Hall of Famer. I mean, it's obvious looking through his resume. The amount of O's he took from guys, Jesse Vargas, Devin Alexander, Luis Abreu, you know.
You got to remember, too, the writers vote you in. So
True.
Bradley's for sure first ballot because
The writers loved him.
Exactly. This generation knows him, and he's kind of lived through a couple of generations. He's always been there. You know what I'm saying? He never called out Mayweather the way that he was supposed to. He was never aggressive about it because he understood the politics, but whatever, man. He had a great career. I believe he'll get in the Hall of Fame, man, for sure. For sure, man. He's done a lot, bro. He's gone overseas, multiple division champ. He took a lot of O's too, man. Let's not forget it, bro. Yo, and he just took a O. You know, Vargas, he just took Vargas's O a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, Bradley, I'm saddened to see him go because of that. He was like that O taker, and he probably would have done that to a couple of them PBC guys. I remember when PBC first kicked off and, you know, all our correspondents were able to interview all fighters. Bradley always wanted to get in the mix with those guys, man. He always wanted that Amir fight, you know, that almost happened. You know, he had a lot of things, man. He chose the Top Rank side, and obviously it was a good decision, but that fork in the road definitely kept him away from some of the fights that, you know, I would still love to see. How old is he? Before we close it out, how old is he exactly, though?
Oh, I have him up right here. Let me check.
Can't believe we're talking Bradley and retirement. I want the age to fit the conversation.
He was born in 83. So,
oh my God, he's young, bro. Shit, 83 has to put him at least like 34.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Damn, Bradley.
And very quickly, because you mentioned some fights.
Maybe he'll come back like Foreman later on, you know, rest up for a couple of years. But the thing is, he's got no power. And he gets fat, man, when he's in the offseason, bro. That dude's going up to like 180, bro.
A couple of fights I would have liked to see him in, regardless of politics. Danny Garcia, back in like 2014, 2015, would have been a really good fight. Sean Porter at one point, I really wanted to see that. I thought that would be really intriguing.
Yo, can I interrupt your list just to ask you, in retrospect, now that he's retiring, you think he ducked Kell Brook? I mean, remember Eddie had put out rumors like he made an offer to Broner, to Bradley. So and Bradley never took a fight since then. So was it like, oh, I'm contemplating, man, no, Brook is too big. That's too much of a fight for me. And look, boom, just walked out the door of retirement. Like,
I mean, you gotta remember at that point, there's a lot of guys mentioned with Kell Brook consistently. Jesse Vargas, Bradley, Pacquiao. There's
all top rank guys. So I feel like
never happened.
I feel like Eddie was negotiating, and Bob is like,
no,
I'm not putting him in with Pacquiao. And then he's like, I'll ask Tim. I don't know, though. You know what I'm saying? I believe he offered because Jesse definitely was entertaining going. So those offers were made to all those top ranked fighters. You just have to assume.
And I have no idea what they said. That's another good fight, though. I forgot about Bradley Kell Brook and how that was rumored at one point. That would have been a really good fight. At the time it was rumored, that would have been an awesome fight in the welterweight division.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Damn, man. Bradley retires off a loss to Pacquiao, enrolled in Nevada, stand-up dude, you know, and a great resume. I love his resume. If I were a boxer, I would love to have his resume. I swear to you. I swear to you. Look at that resume, bro.
And he got paid good money.
You don't know these guys, you're a bum yourself, okay? Miguel Puppet Vasquez, Junior Witter. We're talking
at the time. Hold on. Miguel Vasquez at that time.
At that time, he was undefeated.
No, he had one loss.
Oh, yeah. To who? Canelo. To Canelo. This was 2007. We're talking about the Puppet, okay? He's hard to beat. Junior.
Yo, hold on. And he lost to Canelo in his pro debut.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Yo, Junior Witter in the UK. Cherry Bomb Edna Cherry. Left hook Kendall Holt. Nate fucking Hall of Fame Campbell. Lamont was undefeated till he fought Bradley Peterson. Luis Carlos, I lost my O to Bradley Abregu. Devin, I did the same. Alexander. Casamayor got dropped when I signed that top-ranked contract. Manny Pacquiao, I beat you with that. I just signed. I'm on top of the world, even though the world wanted to kill me because it was like a
robbery.
A robbery. Ruslan, I went to war and back with Juan Manuel Marquez.
Outclassed, man.
Pacquiao,
that was the one that made me think that Bradley was an instant Hall of Famer. Was that Marquez win?
Pacquiao, he lost again. But that Diego Chavez fight, I loved his performance. I thought he won, hands down. The Jesse Vargas, he beat every round outside of that one punch in the 12th. Same thing with the Rios fight. I thought he won that fight. Rios was on his shenanigans.
TKO.
Dan, that's messed up that he gets a draw on that fucking Diego Chavez fight on his list. 5 years from now, they don't even know Diego Chavez now. You know what I mean? So Bradley really will get no credit for that.
Diego Chavez is the type of guy to walk into a boxing press conference and no one know who he is.
No, you were there. He literally walked in, and I was.
That's why I brought it up.
I was like, "Yo," and luckily I got it on
Chavez.
I was like, "Yo, that's Diego Chavez." Everybody, who? I'm like, Diego Chavez. He fought fucking Keith Thurman. It's like I had to go get Dan Birmingham, and people seen Dan talking, and all of a sudden, I was like, "Oh, let's interview Diego Chavez." But anything else before we go out?
No, I'm good. Let's go with the sponsors and the callers. And by the way, we have 2 ringers on the line, just so you know.
All right. So we're going to get to these sponsors, and then we'll go out to the phone calls. Remember the number 14255695241. Press 1 one time if you want to voice your opinion on all these many, many, many topics, or you want to bring up your own boxing topic from over the weekend. International callers, don't forget you can add Nestor Gibbs on Skype too. Call in absolutely free.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to everybody's favorite MD.
Don't even respect your ass. That's why it's time for the doctor to check your ass, nigga.
Yo, what's going on, gentlemen? Fight Doctor in the house on Rick James status as always.
Fight Doc, what up?
Listen, I was thinking, like, in recent memory, who has a better 140-pound resume than Tim Bradley? I think you would probably need to go all the way back to Custer Zoo. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, what 140-pound champion? Because remember, Bradley was not a titleist at 140 pounds. He was the lineal champion at 140 pounds. Who has a better resume? What champion in recent memory? I can't think of anybody. I mean, Pacquiao made a pit stop at 140, but the knockout who did he knock out? Ricky Hasn't. That was impressive, but I mean,
but what are you calling Bradley's biggest win at 40 though? To be giving him all his credit at 40, if we're talking his entire resume, then yeah, that shit looks like steak, eggs, and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? But if we're just talking about 140, it could be debated. So who you saying is his biggest win at 140?
Well, his biggest win at 140, probably I would think Lamont Peterson.
All right.
The Alexander fight. The Alexander fight, was that at 40 or was that at 47? I don't remember.
That was also at 40. But you see.
Okay, so I would say it's a toss-up between. Well, I would think it's a toss-up between Peterson and Alexander. Because Alexander looked good when he was at 140.
But
yeah.
It could be argued that those aren't big wins at 140.
Listen, and they're not okay. I would call them quality wins. Okay, Peterson quality fighter at 140, as was Alexander. Alexander looked good at 140 pounds, and both of those guys, if I'm not mistaken, were unbeaten up until Tim had taken that O.
Absolutely. I just went over that. But Fight Doctor, you got to remember that you started your argument by saying that you can't find anyone in recent history with a good enough with a resume at 140 that's comparable to Tim Bradley's, where that's, you know, obviously we just proven that's not true because Devin and Lamont.
Well, again, if you're looking at it from the point of view of consistency and longevity, now, yeah, he doesn't have the standout stellar win at 140 pounds, but what he does have is consistency and longevity at the weight. Because Bradley was at 140 pounds for a long time, and he beat a lot of good fighters. Junior Witter in the UK, okay, got ducked by Amir Khan. Amir Khan ducked Tim Bradley at 140 pounds. Let's cut the bullshit, okay? Honestly, Khan wanted no parts of Tim Bradley at 140 pounds, and for good reason, because Bradley would have beat the dog shit out of him, okay? Probably would have knocked him out. So, yeah, I think it was smart.
Yeah, I don't think you could say that. I don't think you could say that because Amir Khan is the one that fought Marcos Maidana at 140 when Marcos Maidana was the beast at that division, when Marcos Maidana at that time had the biggest win in that division, remember?
Yeah, but okay, yeah.
And remember Lamont Peterson got a draw to the man in question. We talk about Victor Ortiz, the same guy people like to shit on. He still dropped Maidana 3 times in that fight, and after that fight, he had a draw with Lamont. So again, all comparable fighters because you're giving Timothy Bradley for beating Lamont, someone that drew to Victor that was stopped by Maidana, who you alleging ducked Bradley, destroyed. So I don't know, man. It was contracts back then. Remember, Bradley was signed to Gary Shaw. You know, if you go talk boxing history, I don't know it because I didn't live it, but I lived this. And Bradley was signed to Gary Shaw. It was hard for him to get fights. Khan was with Golden Boy, and you know Alexander. Who the fuck was Alexander with? Oh, Don King, bro. Alexander was Don King. That's why all his fights was in St. Louis.
Yeah, but Khan at that time, Khan was the money man in the division. Okay,
he was.
If he wanted the Tim Bradley fight, he could have had the Tim Bradley fight. Okay?
Yeah, but the Malignaggi fight was bigger. The Malignaggi fight was bigger, though. You can't say Khan ducked Bradley, bro. He took on the hard fight in Maidana and then the big money fight in Malignaggi. Kick rocks, Fight Doctor. Okay, but next time around, baby, I gave you more. I gave you more than 3 minutes. You just see, you can't debate me. I'm killing you right now.
Okay, listen. Okay, look, you can talk all this business about the Malignaggi fight, this, that, and other, but look, at the end of the day, Bradley was the man in the division, so you had to go see him. Khan didn't go see him. Now that's the bottom line.
How you gonna say Bradley? How you gonna say Bradley was the man in the division, and you just simultaneously said that Khan was the money man? And it's always the money man that's the man in the division, my friend. Who's the man in the heavyweight?
Khan
Anthony Joshua.
Okay, well, look, Khan might look. Listen, I'm not disputing or denying that Khan was the money man, but he was not the man. Because in order to beat a man, you got to beat the man.
He beat Marcos Maidana. He beat Marcos Maidana. He beat Marcos Maidana, who was the man. You're forgetting.
No, sir. I'm sorry, but no. But Marcos Maidana was the man in the division based on what? What had he done in the division?
Fear.
Up to that time.
Fear. And the Victor Ortiz win at that time. That was the first loss. Well, not first loss for Victor, but the first televised big loss, you know, when they was pumping Victor on HBO. But that's your call. I gave you extra minutes, you know, because you're like alumni. We're gonna go out to Dallas. Classic. Oh, yes, right.
Hold on, we are not going to Classic Bound. I'm sorry, we have a ringer. And hold on, before the ringer, though,
I'm sorry.
News. We have the overnight ratings for Lomachenko Marriaga on ESPN2 between 10 p.m. and 12 for the prelims. It did 250,000 views.
Whoa. Was that the football thing that we all were watching by mistake?
No. That was on ESPN2 on the tennis thing. That was actually the boxing prelims that we're watching, right? On ESPN for the main event, it drew 750,000 views. Or viewers.
Right on par with his check, baby.
Yeah, one view for $1.
I just don't understand how Bob is getting returned for his money on that shit. I swear to God, one day we just gonna interview him and sandbag him like, Bob, How you paying Lomachenko this money? What's the first ringer we got to get to? Bruiser?
No, Bruiser fell off, so we have to go to KM Star.
We'll go to the Estrella.
Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for the coverage today. I'm glad you guys are paying homage to Tim Bradley's career. Shows you guys really do know and respect boxing. He was really good. And it makes me kind of sad to see him go, but at the same time, if there was a right time for the right guy to leave, I think this is definitely a fit, especially when, he had those brutal battles and he was getting, hurt here and there, losing some of his punch resistance. So, I mean, the only thing that maybe could have made his career different, and I can't say one way or the other whether it would have been better or worse, is if he had gotten signed with Heyman, because, of course, we all wished we got to see him against that stable. But, he did fight Pacquiao. He did fight Marquez. I mean, history will probably respect the names the scalps and the names that he's fought more than the ones that he did not fight. But that remains to be seen because these are still active young fighters who need to finish proving themselves. And, I think the Danny Garcia fight was the one I actually was really eager for, because Danny took over 140 after Tim left it. So there was a story there, right? Like, you took that division after I left it for you, and now you need to fight me so we can show who's better at this weight. That's why that fight would have been compelling to me. I would put my money on Tim, though, not with the punch resistance issues he showed later in his career. Danny's the wrong guy to fight when you're having trouble, holding, with your chin, I guess. But I still would have gone Timmy, to be honest with you. And the Lomachenko fight, it's funny. I feel bad, right? Because I'm watching this and I'm not loving the fight. And at the same time, I'm like, yeah, this guy's really good. And I was more excited about the last time that he fought when he did all that bull and matador stuff and couldn't be touched, than seeing him get kind of touched, not touched, have this guy in front of him that really looked like a dead duck round after round. And I know it's actually wrong for me to criticize him for basically pitching a shutout and stopping a guy. I just don't know why I'm still left not satisfied by that performance. And maybe I just need to go back and watch it again and be more respectful as a fan, because he obviously was that good last night. I don't know what to make of those viewership numbers, actually. What's the norm for HBO, if you could kind of, share that after I'm done or after a few other callers go? Because I don't know if this is a good kind of premiere for Top Rank on ESPN, or if it's not a good premiere for them. I really just don't know. But that's my call, and thanks, guys.
Those numbers are interesting, Matt.
Are bad.
For all those people that called me racist and the boxing voice only gets behind the black fighter, it's typical of them to hate on the Eastern European fighter. We did a show about Davis being more of a star than Lomachenko. We did a show on Davis feeling Lomachenko doesn't draw. This is not proof, Matt. We are not right. We are racist and biased over here. And Heyman gives us checks, is all I know.
And also, for the record, the attendance for the event was 4,103. The gate revenue has not been announced yet. That is due at the end of the week, I believe, or
4,000.
Yeah, no idea how many comp tickets there were. But
4,000. Put Davis in B-more. That's all I'm saying. Not even B-more. Put him in DC at the Armory. See what happens. We're going to Class and Bound in Texas. Talk to us.
Hey, what's going on? Sweet. So, first of all, real quickly, so shout out for the Boxing Voice. This group really, does their thing, does their job for trying to be as linear and non-biased as possible. And I've listened to their stuff. They've come a long way, because I listened to their old Canelo versus Lara tape, and man, they were just raking Canelo over the coals back in that fight. And I was just thinking they would support all the hipster stuff, but they've gotten a lot better with time. So y'all really need to appreciate what they do. They work really hard. Now, with that being said, let me talk about this Lomachenko-Marriaga fight real quick. I'm a big Vasyl Lomachenko fan, and he did exactly what I expected him to do. So I'm not going to, parade him around for doing something we expected him to do. I will say this, that where does he go from here? It's funny because there's 4 fighters that are connected to each other. Rigo, is connected to Loma, but Loma is also connected to Garcia because we want that matchup. But Garcia is now being talked about with Terrence Crawford, and all these guys are in different divisions. I don't know why they're wanting to fight other people from other divisions instead of fighting people in their own divisions. So either way, I think it'd be a good idea for Lomachenko to somehow find that Gervonta Davis fight. But if I couldn't get the Tank fight, I don't know. Maybe beat up a common opponent. Maybe go beat up Pedraza. I don't know. Anything for Lomachenko would be nice. Oh, and also Timothy Bradley. The only person at 140 in recent history who has a really good resume at 140 is honestly one of Nes's favorites, Danny Garcia. That was where Danny Garcia made his stake and claim as to being one of the top fighters. So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, Timothy Bradley definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. One of the better recent fighters in recent memory. And I wish him luck, and Vladimir Klitschko, and Juan Manuel Marquez. They're all retired officially. So let's give them a round of applause for just being fantastic fighters and putting their life on the line to give us memorable fights. But that's all I've got for you guys.
Class and bound.
I forgot about Marquez retiring. I knew there was one more person.
Class and bound. Bound to always have a classy call, man. Good call there. He said some things that reminded me of something. Fuck. My boy's gonna be mad that it took me an hour and 7 minutes to talk about him, but wow. After watching that Lomachenko fight, I am left scratching my head. I mean, Class and Bound, his name says it all. Classy, because he's right. I feel the way he feels. I do want 2 fights. Mikey Lomachenko, Rigo Lomachenko. So Loma's lucky that I want him. And you can throw Davis in that mix if you want to. Not in that mix, but Davis Lomachenko. But yeah, Marriaga was able to land shots. And Rigo might not like what he hears now. It did worry me. I was like, wow, Marriaga is small like Rigo. Is Lomachenko just too big? My Cuban friend, my only Cuban best friend, calls me up right away. He's like, yo, Rigo still beats him, right? I'm like, well, I don't know. Lomachenko did look big last night, right? He didn't look big to you?
It's hard to say because he was fighting a guy that was in a lower division.
My point exactly.
He was fighting a 130-pounder. Would he look big?
No. My point exactly, Matt. I mean, Rigo's only 122 or 118.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, 122.
All right. So you tell me. I mean, if Loma looked very big compared to Marriaga, and I know the skill is obviously, different levels, but it did worry me. I mean, I don't know. Is that as easy as a win for Loma as, Team Guillermo Rigondeaux thinks? Shout out to Rigondeaux on the tweet today.
Loving Nest and the boxing voice.
Important TBV. But yeah, I mean, look, we just went through the resume. I mean, we just went through that division, though. Loma doesn't really have that many truly possible options, right?
Here's what Loma needs to do. He needs to either fight a popular 126-pounder like a Leo Santa Cruz moving up, a Carl Frampton moving up. He needs to fight one of those guys, or he needs to move up and fight a Linares. Fight the win of Linares, Luke Campbell. Go do something like that. Fight Terry Flanagan. Like, you can go up and position yourself for unification with a Mikey Garcia. It's very easy to do that.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. You're taking him out his way, and
great. He's supposed to do great things.
You got to handle that Rigo fight. It's there. You're the bigger man. It's no better time than now. What are you going to do? Go up more and make it even less possible? Now is the time, because think about it. You got to move up to fight Mikey, and you got to negotiate network because you heard what Mikey said on his air. You know what I mean? So even the Linares fight, it's not happening, bro. Linares got to fight with who? Not Anthony Corolla, the other guy, Luke Campbell.
Yeah. Well, you don't think Loma's going to take maybe a 2-week break and just hang out in LA with the family or go back to Ukraine or something like that.
All right. And when is Luke Campbell and Linares penciled in for?
September.
Talking about a month. September what?
You can wait.
September what?
I don't know, like the 15th, 16th.
He could wait, but he could be taking phone calls.
Of course.
And them phone calls could be from Team Rigondeaux. It just makes sense. Why move up? Why not take advantage of your weight advantage?
Look, me and you both know that we both like that fight. We both will definitely watch it. However, we both understand that there is a drawback to fighting Rigo, who's 2 divisions lower than him. No matter how good Rigo is, if Lomachenko goes out there and knocks him out, or he works him in any way, or he's dominant, or it's a clear decision where he won, people are going to say Rigo's too small.
No one said that about Broner and Maidana. No one.
They said it about Kell Brook and Triple G. They said it about Amir Khan, Canelo.
It was different. No one has the same.
It wasn't different.
Crazy. Lomachenko Rigondeaux doesn't have the fucking aura that Kell Brook, Triple G. Kell Brook could never be Rigo.
You don't think Triple G had the aura back then the same way that Lomachenko has it now?
My friend, if you're making Lomachenko into Triple G, Kell Brook isn't Rigo. He isn't.
But I'm saying if Lomachenko wins decisively, it would be painted that way.
I don't think so, man. I think people respect Rigo.
Just like when Loma beat Nicholas Walters, people are still to this day discrediting that win.
When Loma beat Nicholas, well, that was a 10-month layoff.
Hey, but you right there, you gave an excuse.
Matt,
you're going to do the same thing if Rigo loses.
Rigo,
I can see Loma saying, "I don't want to do that." I see what happens when a champion faces a guy 2 divisions lower. It's a lose-lose situation.
All right, I get your point. All I'm going to end it with.
Again, I'm just devil's advocate right now. That's all I'm doing.
I hear you. And I'm going to end it with this so we can get back out to the calls. I think people respect skill level. They understand that is a high skill level fight, bro. Rigo's not just your average fighter. He's, it's for a reason we're talking about him, but whatever. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're pitching. We're going out to Larry in San Francisco.
Big ups to the Boxing Voice. Thank y'all as always for the show. Hey, real quick, I called in originally not to talk about this, but Ness, at first I was going to get all over you for your saying Tim Bradley wasn't the best at 140. But I kind of wrote it out, and I think you're closer to being right than I thought you were. It's pretty close between him and Danny Garcia. I give Bradley the edge at 140, but it's close. It's a little closer than I thought it was, so I'm gonna lay off that one. But big ups to Vasyl Lomachenko. It was not a great fight last night. I think we all knew what the outcome was going to be. I knew that Marriaga's corner was going to have to stop it. That was the humane thing to do. But I wanted to see more last night. We all know that Lomachenko was my 2016 Fighter of the Year, but he really hasn't followed it up this year like he did last year. He's been great, don't get me wrong, but I was hoping to see an even higher level. I know the bar gets set high, but when it gets set that high, I'm looking for guys to meet that. With that said, I got to correct a whole bunch of people, and don't be shocked when you hear this. Vasyl Lomachenko is on the same exact level as Roy Jones Jr. and Floyd Mayweather. You take the amateur career, you take the beginning of the pro career, you take the skills, and they all line up very nicely. And that's why all this hype train stuff has to go, because Lomachenko is just that good. I dare any one of y'all to tell me differently, but until then, I'm out.
All right, Larry, thanks for calling in out in the San Fran. We're going to Big Santiago in LA. Talk to us.
Hey guys, so seeing Vasyl do his thing and make it a pure showcase, and this match against the guy who went 12 rounds against Nicholas Walters and Oscar Valdez, it was just otherworldly. I was telling my friend there that Vasyl basically looks like a Fight Night character when you have all his stats maxed out. It was he's on a whole another level, and I don't know if there's anybody out there at 130 right now that could really give him a test. Maybe Burchell, but even then, that's a stretch. I think 135 is when maybe he becomes human. It'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. unification, do what Terrence Crawford's doing. And big ups to Claressa Shields on a very dominant and impressive performance on Showbox, winning 2 titles in one night in her 4th professional fight. If she goes down to 160, her fight with Christina Hammer would be a hell of a fight to make. Another unified champion. They look like they're like down the line. They could make it. Showbox, the commentary crew, kind of put it up there. But it'll be interesting to see where she goes too. Congratulations to her, Michaela Mayer, on her professional debut, starching her opponent in 1 round with a left hook to set it all up. I got to see her come down the line, and me and my buddy, congratulated her on the win. And also, it's sad to see these guys retire. Klitschko, Marquez, Bradley, seeing these guys come up, become champions, leave their marks. I wish them all the best. I wish them all the best on the second half of their career, and hopefully, Bradley comes out okay with all the wars that he's been in. Same with Klitschko. Hopefully these guys can live a good, healthy life, and we don't have to hear, these sad cases of these guys developing, like ALS or something. I don't really have much to say. Everyone else is pretty much saying everything that needs to be said. So any question you guys have, feel free to ask. Otherwise, that's my call.
Santiago, how was the atmosphere at the venue for the Lomachenko fight?
Oh, pro Lomachenko, man. I mean, I was sitting next to the Ukrainian crowd with me and my buddy. Everybody there was just cheering, chanting Lomachenko, and some of it in Ukrainian. It was a pretty nice atmosphere. It felt like a movie theater. Concession stand wasn't that far. It was pretty nice. It was a pretty nice atmosphere. Nothing like bumping, but it was a nice atmosphere.
Hey, did you get to meet Aaron while you were at the spot, or was he too busy to, because he was working? No?
I didn't really get a chance to beat him up.
All right. Well, all right, Santiago, thanks for calling in. We're going to go out to Texas. It's our boy, JD.
JD, motherfucker. There's a lot of things I like to move, so just try to get on my game to box, man. I don't know why they gonna call me, but I'm a 54-pounder. But I have a brother that's at 160.
Yo, Lomachenko. First off, let me get to Tim Bradley. I'll just say, it's bittersweet because, you want to see him, matched up with, nobody's passing the torch. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody is fighting none of the young guys. All the old, proven veterans, it's like they're not passing the torch, and that's unfortunate. But for what he did give, it was a good career. I enjoyed watching a bunch of his fights. I actually studied him too when I was coming up. So, man, when you talk about heart, though, I think he might be pound for pound in the heart category. So, with that being said, moving on to Lomachenko, we only want to see the Rigo fight next. You know what I'm saying? If I'm Lomachenko, it looks like he's good enough to use his size as an advantage to be the one to beat Rigo. So I would definitely do it before moving up. You know what I'm saying? It just adds to his resume. He want to be the guy. From what I hear, he want to fight nothing but the best. So I mean, there you go. You got a guy that's just harassing you, stalking you on social media. Go and get him out the way if that's what you can do, and then go up and see what Mikey Garcia talking about. But as far as his fight last night, good fight. Good fight. The only thing I will say negative, and it's not even towards him, it's towards his followers. You know what I'm saying? It's the same guys that said showboating,
when Floyd or Roy Jones was showboat, they didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? But now it's the commentators. They not saying he should cut the showboat now. They loving it. They eating it up. And I just wanted to point that out. But that's all I got, man. Y'all doing overtime tonight?
For sure. We there right after this.
All right, I'll holler at y'all then.
All right, JD. Thanks for calling in. We're going out.
TBV Overtime on patreon.com/theboxingvoice. It's where we go an extra 30 minutes to an hour, maybe sometimes an hour and a half if we get really talkative, and we talk about everything about the world, pop culture, news, anything. And it all takes place on patreon.com/theboxingvoice after every flagship show of the Boxing Voice on Thursday and Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
We do have a couple of great topics to discuss too, man. I got to see that movie with Halle Berry. I'm sure Matt's gonna have some music. We got to discuss some border wars. A lot of new TBB fighters signing up, so we'll talk all that. We're going out to Anthony in Cincinnati. Talk to us.
What's up? Yeah, big ups to you guys, man. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't have a chance the last few times I called to tell y'all. The reason I fell in love with this show is you guys are just unbiased. You tell it like it is. You point it all out, all angles you possibly can. So I really appreciate that, man. Tim Bradley, but I'm glad y'all brought that up because reading all the sports news that I did the last couple of days, they talked about Vlad. They gave tributes to Vladimir, and I even seen a couple for Juan Manuel Marquez, but nobody really spoke about Tim Bradley. It was just like a highlight. Oh, Tim Bradley retired, and that's it. I'm like, damn, get a man some credit. He's definitely Hall of Fame. But yeah, that said, I caught the Loma fight. He's definitely got the goods. I'm not going to downplay anything about the guy. He's serious. He's serious. But I will say, Marriaga, he acquitted himself pretty well, but he had pretty good defense. Even Teddy Atlas was like, yeah, he's definitely making him miss, but he had great defense, but he just did not have the firepower, and he was too small to deal with Loma.
Nah.
And since you brought that up,
Anthony,
You don't think so?
Marriaga ain't have good defense.
That
motherfucker wasn't throwing no punches. He kept his hands in his pocket. He didn't want to get hit, man. That's why they was knocking on his head like, knock. Can you open the fuck up? That's what. Oh, no.
At that point,
listen,
early on.
I know people think I'm biased, and maybe this is that moment, Matt. But it is starting to seep in on me. You know what it is, Lomachenko? That the fact that he's got 9 fights, like you kind of forget that because he's on that level where you're just expecting elites to fight elites. So like what he's doing ain't supposed to be a big deal. But then when you think it's like, yo, this kid only got 9 fights though. But then you also got to factor in he's also old. That's why he has 9 fights. Like he's
29.
That's old. 29? That's hey. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He's right on par now.
Right. He's definitely got to get going.
No. At this point, he's right on par because now he's got 2 world titles in 2 divisions. Most 27, 29-year-olds that are supposed to be good or great, that's where they're at. They already got 2 titles in 2 multiple divisions.
Crawford's older than him. Crawford's turning 30 next month.
Yeah, you're right now. I think about it.
Exactly, Crawford, and look at all that Crawford achieved. Look at all the Danny achieved.
27, 29. Yeah, you're right. They are about 27 and 29. So yeah, you're right about that. And I caught bits and pieces of the Beltran fight. That was a sloppy mess. Claressa Shields.
I'm surprised people didn't think that Beltran Vasquez fight was a little more tight. I thought Vasquez was doing good. I was kind of shocked that he didn't get the win.
To watch.
He didn't have the power of Beltran, but he was beating Beltran up, man, and he was making like I don't know. I don't think he got any credit. I don't think he got any credit for what he did.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But that's about. One fantasy matchup I forgot to bring up for Tim Bradley. Obviously Floyd, but it's been fun to see him against Garcia, Thurman, maybe. and somebody else at 47, somebody good. Sean Porter. That I don't know how you would have dealt with Sean Porter's pressure, but that would have been fun to watch.
I like the Thurman fight.
So.
Thurman always wanted that fight. I like that Thurman fight. But Anthony, before you go, you were going to say something about Claressa, and she looked so good. I want to make sure everybody who wants to talk about her does get their piece on it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, the fact that you compared her to – you can't compare her to women. You compare her to guys, and that's true. She might whip a few guys' ass. Pro boxers' ass. I mean, she looked pretty good, man.
Bro, let me just tell you something.
I watched the whole thing, but, man, she looked really good.
You saying that she might whip some guys' ass, right? Matt and I know her sparring partner personally, and her sparring partner will definitely whip some guys' ass. So I'm sure Claressa will do the same.
Oh yeah, real quick. I took another video for the intro. Let me know if it's good enough for this.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. I didn't know that this was the same Anthony, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I haven't gotten the new one. Well, I don't know if I got it. I haven't seen it yet. Let me just double check here. But I will get to some other callers and I'll let you know. Yes, sir, Matt.
We got a ringer, Stainless.
Bring him in. Stainless, what up?
Straight to the point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the streets to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me, I'm coming with that heat.
Yo, TBV, what's up? I didn't click on YouTube first. I just called in because I'm in the middle of my sparring session. Spitting with my man, Shane T.
What? You out there sparring?
Unfortunately, I didn't. No, you know, I rap too, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I got to keep people, you know, as you it's something that you say that I've been saying enough for years. Steel sharpens steel. You know what I'm saying? So we spar. You know, we try to get together every Sunday and spar before we go to these ciphers, before they go to their shows and record and do anything else. So I'm saying this is the time that we get it in. This, you know, it's the same mentality as mixed martial arts, any martial arts or boxing. The more you spar, you know, the more prepared you are for any competition or a real fight. So, you know, we just use it in a metaphorical sense, and we just any subject, you know, storylines, we play pickup, all that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and it's that training that. I mean, they already some cold cats. They don't do nothing but freestyle. You know what I'm saying? They don't write anything, and they cold. They like I don't even know who to compare them to, man. I have to compare it to like the cold lyricists out of the 90s. You know what I'm saying? But today's, you know what I'm saying? They don't sound like that. What's the relatives do? The Migos. They don't sound like that. You know what I'm saying? They sound like, you know what I'm saying, people who can actually spit for their culture and their genre and their, you know what I'm saying, and then for their age, you know what I'm saying, demographic, and actually be somebody who speaks for their generation instead of just making a soundtrack for it. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep these dudes as tight and sharp as possible. But it's Sunday, so I had to get in my car. I mean, the only pick I made was Loma, and I didn't even make that. So obviously, there ain't no crow. But, you know, personally, I only got to see the Loma fight. You know, it was the football Hall of Fame induction. And it went on until, like, the middle of the ninth round in the Beltran fight. So I didn't see much of that. But the Loma fight, I mean, it was decent. I mean, it was nice to watch Loma do his thing, but Marriaga was a shit opponent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give him no applause for that. You know, like, he need to be calling somebody out. Like when, what's his name? Adonis Stevenson beat the shit out of, you know what I'm saying? He should have called out Ward or Kovalev or, you know, whoever the winner of that is, or his mandatory. No, he just said whoever the fans and my promoter want me to fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's bullshit. You know, as you said, you at that age where you're supposed to be taking over in your career. Yeah, he got a slow start, you know, but, you know what I'm saying, it's time to take off. You know what I'm saying? Like Tim Bradley said, it's time to step it up. You know what I'm saying? But that's my call. As I always say, make sure that you push the thumbs up and share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. Well, it's good to hear your voice, man, and I'll talk to you soon.
Stainless, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Let's see, Matt, anyone else before we go back down the line?
Nope.
Hey, Anthony, I did get that, so we'll get to work on that, and the world will be introduced to what's the fighting name? Yeah, what's the fighting name, Ant?
Originally, I'm like, okay, the new AB.
Oh, the new AB.
But then I was like, oh, wait. Ezra Charles is from Cincinnati. So I'm like, let me change it to the Queen City Cobra.
Okay.
So that's what I changed to.
All right. Well, let's get down the line. We got 410 on the check-in. You're up. 410, first-time caller. If so, let me know so I can get and play this first-time caller intro. You go ahead and let the world know your name and where you're calling from. From. 410 236 410.
Oh, that's me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm here.
First time caller?
What's up? Yeah, first time caller. Noah from Baltimore.
All right, Noah, I was gonna play the intro for you, but go ahead, brother. You already you're hot and rolling. Go for it.
All right. Just real quick, I gotta call out the Hipster on a little bit of hating on his own, because I gotta say you can't hate on these guys, Soto Karass and Herrera. I mean, these are good fighters. You know, we see a lot of bullshit fights. So to see two guys that really know how to fight go at it and put some work in, I mean, you got to give credit for that. That's cool. Second, Lomachenko, he doesn't have a lot of fights. You know, so you can't hate on him for taking the fight. I mean, obviously, Salido didn't take the fight, so he had to fight somebody. It's always a pleasure to watch that man fight. I mean, come on, man. You know? And Tim Bradley, he's obviously a Hall of Famer. Amazing fighter. Heart, come on. So that's all I got, man, on those. Anyway, I appreciate you guys being on there. I appreciate people that actually care about boxing. And enough of this Conor McGregor crap, you know. I mean, whatever. That's just a sideshow. Anyway, that's all I got. Peace.
Noah, want to thank you for calling in. He said Noah in
Baltimore.
Baltimore. That's right. Beemore. Thanks for calling in, Noah. So, hey, Matt, did Gervonta Davis say anything last night during the fights? Did he criticize?
I can check his Twitter, Instagram.
20 hours ago, all he did was put, like, shaking my head. The emoji.
Dropping subliminals like Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think Terrence Crawford is better, though.
What? Terrence said that he stole his move.
That's a better subliminal.
That ain't no subliminal. That's direct, man.
Well, it's not direct because you're not adding him. I mean, if you're not adding someone on Twitter or IG, you are dropping a subliminal.
Yo,
right? Or does that not count?
We know he know. We know he know. We know. Damn,
obvious subliminal.
Tanks wasn't obvious. You can't talk about Tank.
If you were on Twitter and you were watching that fight and that came up, it would have been obvious, would it not?
Hell no. He needed to put hashtag Loma Marriaga.
Crawford didn't do that.
Yeah, because Crawford said he stole my move. Who else he talking about? He ain't talking about no crossovers.
Hey, maybe somebody wasn't watching the fight. Maybe somebody was on Twitter. Maybe somebody's going to catch that tweet days later and not know what it's about.
Yo, Matt, you know what? I'm going to have to move this soundbite to somewhere I can keep my trigger on it. Haters. I know, Jay.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't pay Showtime to see you all there not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see some motherfuckers just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that form I do? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next, what a great show. Thumbs up, donate. Hey, yo, what's up with this low energy shit? Man.
George, you get the fuck out of here. You know this ain't no low energy shit.
You're funny, dude. Listen, brother, that was a shit show. Stop fucking Ned fucking hype shit up, because that was a shit show. Everybody knows that. We don't want to see that. I don't want to really see Rigo because Rigo kind of small. And to be fair, I think that would be too much for Rigo. If that motherfucker ended up beating him, it would be like he's the greatest of all time. Fuck that. Anyways, what I would like to see is Mikey. That would be a good fight. Why can't that fight be made? Mike can be a free agent. So anybody can answer.
I think the obvious answer to that is maybe Bob doesn't want to work with somebody that just left him. And I know Todd DeBuff did.
The same reptilian. How long this man gonna be on my life? I'm sick and tired of hearing this motherfucking name, bro.
Yo, you know vampires are immortal, man. Bob Arum's gonna be around forever.
Oh, listen, this is how evil this man is. A man like Bob Arum, who been on the sport for 50 years, gonna let fucking fly out of his mouth that every time he take Rigon down to HBO producers, they want to puke. He knows the damage that he's doing. That's how evil this motherfucker is, bro. And then they blackball Rigo to a point that the man is mad old. By the time they fight this man, this nigga's mad old. You know, so I mean, Joe, I love Rigo and everything, but that's the reality of this goddamn mafia. You guys just want to wave your way around this fucking shit. Why wouldn't he have Bradley and fucking Danny Garcia?
Because those promoters are not working with each other at the time.
What if? Who records better? Who was kicking more ass? Why? It all roads fucking leads to Rome. The same motherfucking play over and over and over. But I'm here the fucking conspiracy theory, dude. And reality fucking hit you in your face every time. Anyways, great show. Thumbs up, donate, enjoy Patreon. I'm out it. Think about it.
Ness?
Yes.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Just making sure you're alive. Want to go to Majid?
Is everyone okay?
Yes.
I was actually stalking Rigondeaux's Twitter. There's video of Teddy Atlas saying that Rigondeaux is the one that is patient enough and skilled enough. Let me just play it, right? Or would you believe me? Hover to God, do you believe? I don't know. Yeah, so he's saying basically that Rigo is, and this is yesterday, okay, after the fight. He's being interviewed, and he says Rigo is the only one. All right? Call him Neo. Call him Neo face. Raising volume. 5, 4, 3.
Maybe the one spot he makes a mistake. And Rigondeaux is calm enough, accurate enough, patient enough, and powerful enough to maybe place a punch, maybe at the right time. But these guys can't do it.
So he's saying Rigondeaux is probably the only one who can land this punch at the right time, but these other guys can't do it. And since we were checking Tank's Twitter for what he might have had said or not said during this fight, Matt, Rigondeaux did put something out that I'm going to go ahead and screen share because, again, I don't understand how we can continue as fight fans. Like, if Rigo wasn't skilled, it would be understandable for us to be like, oh, this guy, man, he keeps calling out a fight he knows can't happen. But then again, it's like, yo, Rigo is skilled enough. It's not a fight that is ridiculous. It's a fight that fight fans are speaking of. You know, these guys are tweeting each other, and guess what's happening? People are responding to it. They're retweeting, you know, videos are being made on social media, on YouTube, throughout. And in this screen share that I got, Matt, it's a picture of Bradley from and they Photoshop Egas Klimas. You know, Bradley's comic strip bubble, where obviously his thoughts are written, say, remember whatever you say, the main idea is. And the comic strip bubble for Egas is no one is calling out Lomachenko. So you know, then obviously Rigo, you know, states on that tweet like apparently not even me, which we all know is calling him out. And again, which just brings me back to the fact that and by the way, he only has 51,000 followers on Instagram, so Rigo need to definitely get a little more popular so that those very good memes that he's been creating thus far get a little more attention, because that particular one only has 70 likes, 23 retweets. Matt, that's basically falling on deaf ears. Am I right?
Yeah, I would say so. Well, again, like, how big is Lomachenko? He got 750,000 views on ESPN, which is in still, what, like 90 million homes in the U.S.? So I don't know how big this entire thing is, how big of a fight this is naturally. But anyways, very quickly.
Let me just butt in. Lomachenko is only 55,000 followers on Twitter.
That's not surprising at all.
Right. They're in the same boat.
Shout out to the guy who is running Rigo's Twitter, because he obviously did such a good job that Sullivan Barrera hired him.
Oh, yeah.
So shout out to him, man.
I seen the one that he made of himself.
It's the same person. It has to be.
Or no. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same person. They definitely could have recommended, because I've recommended dozens of apps, and really that's all it is a comic strip bubble app.
But we know that Rigo's probably not the one on Twitter making these memes.
I feel
like that's unlikely.
I feel 1,000% sure that Rigo has his guy, right? Like,
yeah,
you know, like I might hang around a bunch of Dominicans and be the only one that knows English. You know what I mean? So that's his guy that translates everything for him correctly. But I also feel like you could be right. I mean, some of the stuff is just like, he have the time, right? So he has to have someone else, which would be smart, though. When you're a brand or trying to be one, I mean, is Canelo posting everything? Is McGregor? Is McGregor posting everything? I mean, the dude's got a photographer, so you know who's uploading, right? Like, that's what you're supposed to do when you become a brand and you're trying to be a brand. He needs to hire. Get some like ads, right? He needs to get some Twitter ads and Instagram ads so he could promote his profile more, because he should have more followers. I mean, damn.
You know what you should do? He should get with the promoter that's going to promote him.
Yeah. He should sign
Rock Nation isn't doing jack shit.
Dude, I don't get why he's not with Heyman. Like, Heyman would totally sign him, and he would sit down and be like, yo, I want that cruise fight. He's like, all right, we'll give it to you. You know, you probably got to eat two other dudes first, you know, but we're gonna give it to you, because everybody's getting the fights they want over there. What the fuck is he thinking? You know, I know he thinks I'm cool, but hey, bro, your team ain't right now. They should have been telling you. I don't know his personal issues, and believe me, I tried to get with him when we were in Miami. You know, that didn't happen, but you know, I would love to you know, talk to him again and see what's up, bro, because no, we got to get this thing moving. He's getting old too. What's his age? Check that age while we got the numbers.
36.
No fucking way.
I'm almost positive that he's 36.
Lying. You're crazy. He's like 32. Stop it. Why are you being a hater right now?
Dude, I love Riggin' that. What are you talking about?
I'm calling him 36. He better be 36 when I double check this shit.
I threw that out there. I don't know. He's 36 years old. Yes, he is. Yes.
What?
Or
damn, he's King Kong's brother.
Hey, what up? What up? Yeah, man. I saw the fight yesterday, and it pretty much played out the way I expected it. Mine, I kind of thought that Loma was going to, like, you know, knock him out or something, but I seen he was just playing with him, making a joke. But I mean, I just got like, when is he going to have like a meaningful fight? You know, somebody that's on a level. I feel like the Rigondeaux fight. I heard somebody on there say that was that Rigondeaux too small, and if he was to lose, then they would just write it off as that. I'm like, what's the difference between him fighting Loma, Rigo and Loma fighting, or Loma and anybody else at this point? Because ain't nobody watching the shit anyway. And 750 views on ESPN, everybody got that channel, you know. So they flopped on the numbers yesterday, and I'm just like, I still don't believe. I believe that Arum hate fucking Rigondeaux. He hate Garcia. So I don't see none of those fights. Those fights happening for that reason by itself, and that would be a reason for them to push the the Terrence Crawford versus Rigo. I mean, yeah, fucking Loma, you know, because or I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm fucking up, but I just don't. I'm not sold on the Loma train yet because he beat Gary Russell and everything, but it's just like unify. Like he could have unified 126 at least. Like did something to show us that all right, he the real deal. Because beating up these people and making it look easy, everybody do that shit. And you had that dude Larry from San Francisco compare him to Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather. That's kind of disrespectful because the nigga already lost to Salido. Whether he got the rematch or not, whether Salido was overweight, he still lost. So I don't see how we even comparing them at this point. It's like, what? When is Loma going to have a real fight? You know what I'm saying? Some shit that everybody going to tune in for pay-per-view. Or we just going to keep hearing these excuses from Bob Arum and everybody else. They say he all great and everything, but he not fighting nobody great. So it just got me confused and not sold. And that's all I got.
I don't know, man. I believe he has the skills. It's just at this point, it's a little difficult to prove unless he moves up or down in weight, you know, or he's going to have to like come at Tank Davis full steam ahead. But is Tank even it? Yeah, Tank is, and it's I'm bugging. Yeah, he's gonna. And again, Tank is ranked underneath him, right? But that's the only other guy that he hasn't really beaten. Him and Burchell and Jezreel, though. That's 3 title holders right there. It's true. I mean, he's got to start trying to unify.
Agreed on that. Very
How long has he been in this division?
Roman Martinez was at 130, obviously, and I think he had one fight before that at 130.
All right, so we cannot rush him, bro. It's
no, whoa, hold on. We can because he rushes himself. That's pretty much.
No. But he's still in the division. He's still got time to unify. He's got listed here 4 fights at 130. Roman Martinez, Nicholas Walters, Jason Sosa, and now Marriaga. And again, Roman Martinez at 130 is a good fight, especially for a guy with this little bit of resume. Then you talk about Nicholas Walters at 130, still a good fight. Sosa, still a good fight. So, you know, he needs to start now, though, unifying. Who'd he take the title from? From Sosa?
No, from Martinez.
From Martinez. Damn, so he's just been defending his ass off, huh? No trying to get it. Yo, he's right. Majid is right. Shout out to you, Majid. Why is he not calling for unifications? Why hasn't he called out Burchell or Jezreel?
I mean, when Mikey Garcia walked in on a radio interview that he was partaking in, Lomachenko wasn't really like, yeah, let's fight. When Mikey said, yo, we need to fight next. After you're done wiping Marriaga off the floor, let's fight. You know, Lomachenko really wasn't.
What interview was that? Did he go on Breakfast Club?
No, it wasn't Breakfast Club. It wasn't even like a big one. I think it was like an ESPN studio interview. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like a big, like it wasn't like Sway in the Morning. It wasn't Ebro. It wasn't one of those.
All right. Man.
Oh, but very quickly.
Loma to do something like if it's like, come on now. You know what? We're gonna have to start doing episodes on what Loma's doing next because, man, that's a lot of title defenses. B.
Very quickly. Who's the best name on his resume? Gary Russell or Nicholas Walters?
Russell,
okay.
Well, let me go over Russell, bro. Let me see, you know, were we giving Russell that
and that's not my main question, by the way. That's not my main question.
Were we giving Russell that eye test skill or did he beat some names? Because Russell was just a lot of skill, but wasn't Lomachenko his first time stepping up?
I want to say so as well. I want to agree with you as well. And I want to say Nicholas Walters has the better names. He has Nonito Donaire and Victor Archinian. Like those are 2 better names.
I'll still give Russell the edge because Walters is basically done. Russell at least went on to become a champion again.
And Russell looks better, I would say.
And even though these names aren't the best, man, after that Lomachenko loss, I'm telling you, like Christian Martin, That was a Showbox ESPN fighter, and no disrespect to him. He was a fireman and a fighter. He's won some decent fights, but, you know, getting a Gary Russell fight was like his shot, but he, you know, not like he earned it the way that, you know, Porter earned his shot by, I don't know, fuck it. You find the reason someone who really earned the shot. But then Johnny Gonzalez was next, which, you know, Johnny got like 70 fights in his ass. You know what I'm saying? So like Johnny's pretty old, and old means slow when you're talking about Russell, who's lightning fast. Then you're talking Patrick Hyland. You know, that's, yo, the only reason I even know Patrick Hyland is because when Jersey Shore was pumping, and I don't mean it in a sense where I visited the Jersey Shore or enjoyed the sitcom, but when that was the fad and was taking over social media at the time, social media was small, Jersey Shore, that whole movement was big. This girl, Snooki, actually got into boxing, created her own promotion, and signed these brothers, the Patrick Hyland and somebody else Hyland. That's why all this time I used to think that dude, Sebastian Hyland, was part of them, but obviously spelled differently. Long story short, the only reason I know Patrick Hyland. Okay, so that's another win. And then he beat Oscar Escaldón, who's, you know, look, Escaldón was a champion before Gary Russell, so it's not a bad fight, but it's also not the top of the division, is it? I mean, I don't even know who's in 26. These little guys, it's so difficult, you know. Well, look, none of those guys are the top, because the top is very sexy. Quellar, you know, even throw Joseph Diaz in there. Well, Oscar Escaldón is at the top. You got Escaldón, Diaz, Warrington from the UK, you know, Quellar, who's in the mix, Valdez, who's a champion, Scott Quigg, former champion, Lee Selby, champion, Abner Mars, champion, Russell, champion, Frampton, former champion, and my boy, El Terremoto, who you got to respect, bro. 1,000+ punches per fight. Probably not the most skilled of all those guys, Leo Santa Cruz, but 1,000+ punches is going to give anybody problems, man. Anybody problems. When that 12th round kick around and that guy's still punching you, it gets difficult. Let's go back out to the phone lines.
You went on a huge tangent when
that's what I said. Let's go back out to the phone lines unless you want to add something.
Well, yeah, because I wasn't done with my questioning. You say Gary Russell was his best opponent.
Why are you always picking on me?
Because you really wanted to talk about that 126-pound division, man. Do you think Gervonta Davis beats Gary Russell right now?
Man, Russell could be faster and give him problems, but I want to say these guys know each other. And let me tell you something about those DMV gyms. They all have rivalries.
That's true.
They all have rivalries.
There's always backstories.
You know, so that's a good fight to build, Davis. Thing is Gary Russell, who, you know, I mean, when we're talking, oh man, I hate being blacklisted, but when we're talking, and it's not that's the wrong word. Choose your words wisely here, Ness. I don't know what to say, okay? But when we're talking fighters, Heyman fighters, Russell is one of the
most frustrating cases.
No. Yeah. He's only got that one title. I'm gonna say he's the most. Nah, he can't be out of all the Heyman fighters. No, you got Victor there, but Victor's like a multiple creation. You know, he came from all different people. I mean, Russell was bred from Heyman from the beginning. He got an 8-0 fight. You know what I mean? Like, people, you got to understand, right? It's different. That's what I say. You could take shots at me about my history, but the history I lived, I know. And Russell, I know. Russell was with Golden Boy, but he's always been a Heyman creation, right? And he came into HBO, first kid in HBO history to have an 8-round fight fucking televised on HBO. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this dude, I've never seen that before. No one's ever seen that before. But again, for lack of a better word, Matt, it's been pretty protected.
And very quickly before we go to the next caller, Nicholas Walters, who we've been talking about, does have a fight around the corner. He's on the Terrence Crawford, Julius Ndongo undercard, so we will be seeing
so
Nicholas Walters soon.
He fixed his problems with good old Bob.
Yeah,
That's
good for him.
Yeah, that's
That
good.
card's stacked, by the way, in terms of having like relevant names. Bryant Jennings, Dylan White,
They're bringing him back with a tune-up too.
Mike Alvarado, Mike Reed, Nicholas Walters, Bojdick, Crawford, Shakur Stevenson. That's a decent card.
Bro, this poor tune-up has like
8 losses.
Yo, his last 5, he's only gotten 1 win. He's coming off of 2 losses, and he's gonna have to face Walters, B. Ah, man. Pray for you, B. Arturo Santos Reyes. Is that the same Reyes that fought Leo?
I know he fought Tevin Farmer.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He fought Abner Mares.
I guess it's not the Leo one. It's not the Leo one.
No.
All right, all right. I mean, look, I'm happy to see Walters back. I'm glad that Top Rank fixed their problems, or that he fixed his problems with Top Rank, and they're getting him back on air. You know what I mean? I just want to see these guys fight. You know who I miss, and I know one even remembers him. I'm not sure you do. Lucky Boy Omatoso, man. That's another top.
I love Omatoso, man.
It's another top ranked welterweight that I hope they start to give some more fights. I know he lost to Jesse Vargas, but I thought he actually won that fight, man. I'm telling you, it sucks. We got some alumni, unless you got any ringers.
No ringers.
The info jar.
This portion of the show we call In the Know, presented by my brother.
Hey, what's happening, my boxing brothers? Shout out to all the callers and everybody in the chat. This is where it's at. Yo, shout out to Bradley, Klitschko, Marquez, Guerrero. And I just want to say thank you for giving us, the fans, a lot of years of great boxing. I'm sure the boxing guys are pleased with your service. You're truly appreciated by the hardcores. So shout out to Bradley, Klitschko, Marquez, and Guerrero. Thank you, man. Appreciate y'all. Hope you're listening. Far as Rigondeaux and Loma, if I was Rigondeaux at his age, man, I would take the low ball number as far as money, and I would fight him. Or he's going to have to move up, man. This guy, what does he only have, like 15 fights to be 36? Something like that? Am I right?
I think it's 16 fights, but yeah, you're about close.
Man, that's sad and that's bad, man. He's going to have to take a low ball number, fight one of these big names, and then after that, write his own ticket. Because right now, he's only the hardcore will remember him in the end if he doesn't get the ball rolling right now. He should have signed with Al Heyman. Rock Nation, man, is a new company, man, and I didn't see them really promoting Ward right. So, and he has a bigger following than Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux is just the hardcore boxing boxer. But if he's in these last, what does he have? What, a good 3 years left, 4 years left, we would say. He needs to get the ball rolling, man. His management, just like Andrade, he's following in the same footsteps as Rigondeaux. He got to get the fucking ball rolling right now, or he will be a forgotten guy that has never reached his peak, and we'll just be able to say, oh, man, he was so great, but he never reached this plateau where he should be with the skill set that he has. That's my call, brothers. Thank you. Appreciate the show. Peace.
Sad but true. Joe, thanks for calling in, man. Sad but true. Matt, once upon a time, man, I don't know who's listening today and who's going to listen on the playback, but let's take a trip down memory lane, bro. Remember all those episodes I used to do thinking that fucking Jay-Z was going to save boxing and shit, how he was going to come and with his popularity, he was going to be able to fucking change things. And all he did was invest into a company and become the face without being the fucking face, and really have a failing venture. Now, obviously, I don't know the details of the financials, and for all we know, he's doing well. But you have to think, in the grand scheme of things, when you're looking at promotional companies, they seem to be one of the weakest fucking links, man. Ishmael in Dallas, talk to me.
What's going on, guys? You know, shout out to y'all for the great show. I want to start off by saying shout out to Timothy Bradley. You know, he's a Hall of Famer in my books. A lot of people often forget the fights he had with Peterson. He did fight Miguel Vasquez, who at that time was, you know, one tricky motherfucker that not a lot of people wanted to fight or could beat. But, and, you know, now moving on to the Lomachenko fight, I mean, let's just call it for what it was. It was just a showcase fight. To me, it had no meaning to it. It's like when we give Andre Ward credit, if he brought up a Porky Medina, you know, and made a mockery out of him, probably not. But, I mean, I don't know. You see, a fight to look out for, in my opinion, is going to be Verdejo versus Lomachenko. Assuming Verdejo beat, what's his name, Flanagan, whenever they fight, I think that's a fight that we're going to ultimately probably end up seeing by next year. You know, I think Lomachenko will probably beat Verdejo, and that's going to be, what, his third division, and his third division winning the title. And I was going to say something else. Yeah, and the guy that compared Lomachenko to Roy Jones and Mayweather is kind of unfair at the time. Lomachenko is highly skilled. However, we still need to see him take that skill level 3, 4, 5 divisions up and, you know, still be successful. That's my call, guys, and thank you for you know, having a badass show.
Ishmael, man, thank you for being part of it, brother. We truly appreciate it. Great call, by the way. 903, first-time caller. If so, let me know so I can play this intro. You let the world know your name and where you're calling from. 903-434.
Oh, yeah, what's going on? I'm just going to make it short and sweet.
Hold on, there, buddy. Hold on there, buddy. First time caller, right? Let me play this intro. Go ahead and let the world know your name and where you're calling from.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
I was going to be T.O. calling out of Mount Pleasant, Texas. As I was saying, just a big shout out to Bradley and Marquez, just retired. Especially Marquez. Had me on my feet for a long time, for a couple of years since the Barrera fight. But besides that, just gonna make short and sweet. Hopefully, this performance makes Davis grill some nuts, or fucking fight somebody of note too. Hopefully, he's in there with Lomachenko, and that's all I got for y'all.
You say your name was T.O. in Texas, right?
Yeah.
All right, brother. Take it easy, man. Good old Earl Spence boys out there. We're gonna go to some more alumni. It's been a long time.
It's Baltimore, gentlemen. The gods will not save you.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
What up, Wood?
You hear me? Yo, what's going on, man? I'd like to start this call off by saying, man, fuck Uncle Tom Bradley, man, and Teddy Atlas and Brad. They were sitting on that motherfucker and lying like a motherfucker, talking about everybody scared to fight Lomachenko, motherfucking Mikey Garcia chasing this nigga around. Enrique down trying to fight this nigga, man. They just sitting on lying to the public. I know they paid I know Uncle Tom Bradley is a part of Top Rank and shit, man. They just sitting there lying to the public, man. They the people, and they making him seem like he's better than what he is. He's the greatest fighter ever. Look at the moves he's doing. Look at this. They just sitting up there talking shit. It's hard to even watch that shit. To cut that bullshit off, man. Had to cut that shit down, man. You know how they were just sucking this man off, man. The whole fucking thing, man. It was hard to watch, man. It was hard to watch that shit, man. That shit's fucking crazy, man. They try to make it feel like you're the best boxer in the fucking world, man. And they ain't all that motherfucking good. Only got like 5 or 6 fights. How many fights in there got 8 fights, 7 fights? They ain't all that motherfucking good,
I think
man.
it's 9. He's got 9. He's got 10 total fights.
10 total fights, man. Uncle Tom Bradley, man. This nigga, I don't know what the fuck are we talking about. Look at him. He's the best fighter. And the bum was hitting his ass too. The bum had scratches on his motherfucking face and everything, man. The bum was hitting his ass, man. That's like, yo, man. Look, if I didn't know anything about boxing,
and I sit up there and watch and listen to what they say, I think Lomachenko, Jesus better than Jesus. It's saying Jesus Christ, man. What the fuck are they talking about, man? I'm glad. I hope somebody tell the truth, man. There's nobody. And Bradley sit up there lying. Everybody's ducking him. He can't find a fight at 126. He can't find a fight at 130. He can't find a fight at. Man, come on, man. Ricky down chasing this nigga all over the world, man, trying to fight this nigga. Yo, come on, man. This shit is fucked up, yo. All right, man. That's my call, man. That's my call, man. Y'all be easy, man.
All right. Well, great call. You know what, Matt? He got a point. He has a point. I did hear Timothy Bradley dropped that ball, bro. Bradley did say that, man.
WBO welterweight champion of the world, the Desert Storm, Timothy Bradley.
Now, how your boy gonna say on ESPN, one of the biggest fucking platforms, that Lomachenko can't find a fight at 130, 135, and 140?
Yo.
He actually said 140 on that telecast. He skipped, first of all, Robert Easter. Like, stop acting like he won't take that fight. But, I mean, Jezreel Burchet. Is Francisco Vargas still a champ? No, he lost that to
Mike Garcia, Linares.
No, Linares is busy. No, we talking about realistic shit.
Flanagan's realistic. Come on.
I mean, isn't he hurt? That's why the and he's not. He's penciled in with Verdejo, man.
No, that fight got canceled, dude. I forget what I was gonna say because we started talking about that, but I don't know. You can make an argument that someone's ducking everyone. You know, like that's the thing. Like in this boxing world,
I didn't say anything about ducking.
You can make an argument that like Carl Frampton and Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Mara has ducked Loma. You can make that argument. You can definitely make the argument that Gervonta Davis is ducking.
How did they duck Loma when they were fighting each other for titles? The fuck? How do you duck a dude that didn't have a title and isn't calling you out? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Carl Frampton definitely said he does not want to fight Lomachenko. That was on record. You want me to go find the quotes?
I mean, were they ever in the same division? And yes. did Frampton say that when he had a fight? I mean, that just seems weird.
I'm saying you can make arguments. I'm not saying I agree with it. Again, I'm not trying to die on this hill for this argument. I'm just saying you can make arguments that a lot of these guys did duck Loma, just like you make an argument that he's ducking Rigo. Those are all arguments you can make. So it's going to be argued till he starts fighting big guys and wins.
I wanted to get your thoughts more on Bradley saying that.
Oh, thank you. That's what I remember about. Bradley's fucking with Top Rank, man. Like he's always been a Top Rank like company man. Like are we shocked he's not towing the company line? Like come on, man. That's not surprising at all, man. Timothy Bradley's been Top Rank, faithful soldier his entire career. He's never gonna tow something that isn't what Bob wants. Come on, man. Like that's not surprising. You may think it's biased, but that's just not surprising to me.
In a way, I like that it went down that way, man. You know, Bradley came along in a time in Bob's promotional career when he was being questioned on whether or not he could promote black fighters. And Bradley has done well for his career. I mean, we're all saying he's going to be first ballot. And look where he's going with Crawford. You know, he's turned him into a semi, lukewarm star, definitely on its way. But anyway, yeah, man, I guess you can make a case, like you said. I just want to ask everyone that's watching this, future, present, past, I'd appreciate if you could hit that thumbs up button. If you're looking at it right now and it's gray, it should be blue. And when it's blue, that means that you did the right thing. We're gonna go out to Scorsese on Skype, Matt, unless you got something before that.
Nope.
All right, Scorsese, you're up. That didn't sound well.
Why is Scorsese always like in 3 rooms away from the computer or something?
That didn't even sound like that. You guys don't have as good as ears as I do. He got issues right now. 717. You're up. 717, first time caller. Going once.
First time caller.
All right.
First time caller.
I'm going to get and play this first time caller intro. Say your name and where you're calling from.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
E-Dog 818 from Pennsylvania.
So what was that?
E-Dog from the 818 in Pennsylvania.
What's up, man? Yo, check it out, y'all. On the business side of things.
Yo. Could you get off the speaker? Because it's we still haven't even copied your name right. It's the speakerphone messing up.
All right, got you. On the business side of things, right? It's going to be a lot of money to be made. Manny Pacquiao made a lot of money fighting Brandon Rios, so-and-so, as a guy that could beat Floyd Mayweather. Rigo, Mikey Garcia are going to do the same thing. Except I think Loma's going to fight Mikey because he tried to diss Mikey, but he didn't diss Rigo or Terrence Crawford. But Top Rank needs somebody to hype up. So this is the whole thing that's going down with Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Lomachenko's scared, but they can't afford another loss like Salido. You feeling me?
I definitely hear you. But it makes sense.
Peace out.
All right, brother. I thought he was going to, no, I got you. I thought he was going a different route. But he just painted it for me. It takes our listeners. That's why together we are great, ladies and gentlemen. But Matt, I got one for you.
Oh God.
Dude, why would you fight Mikey Rigo? The reason he's been having these title defenses because he needs to stay undefeated long enough to face Pacquiao, pass the torch. Pacquiao at a catch weight on the way out. It wasn't in the cards for Pacquiao to have a rematch with Horn. That just wasn't in the cards. By the way, for all my hardcore listeners out there that are like Matt, that care about those things, Horn is requesting random drug testing. So, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, he wasn't supposed to lose the Horn, so that probably makes sense. It was probably an obvious choice for them to go with Lomachenko versus Pacquiao, but Horn fucked that up. So now you got to keep Lomachenko, undefeated long enough for Pacquiao to go back to Australia, get the rematch, win that, come back and fight again, and he only fights twice. Do you think I'm right with that theory or no? Is Lomachenko on his own path and Bob doesn't plan on crossing the two?
No, I can see how you think that. I can definitely see how someone can craft a theory or argument where it makes sense, where that's the plan, and that the Jeff Horn loss definitely interrupted that plan, blah, blah, blah. I get what you're saying. I'm mopping what you're spilling, I just hope to God we don't get that. Pacquiao is very close to, I'm not gonna say Roy Jones like effect where like he's just getting knocked out, but like he's just taking losses where like I just don't care. He's taking fights I don't care about. I'm not paying attention to. Like they have no effect on his legacy because his legacy is already cemented. Like these are all extra, and I feel like they're unnecessary. I would be a happier man if Pacquiao retired today.
Dude, once Pacquiao beats Horn Lomachenko is back on ESPN as a pay-per-view.
I'm telling you, Pacquiao is not beating Horn in a rematch.
Once Pacquiao beats Horn, Pacquiao versus Lomachenko is back on HBO pay-per-view, and I'm going to tell you, Kellerman is going to buy it. He's going to sell it to the public because he's going to say, we're getting Pacquiao back at his natural weight, 140. Freddie Roach has always wanted him there. Lomachenko's moving up, so it's a vulnerability for him. It gives Pacquiao the chance, but Lomachenko is fast enough, throws enough punches enough that he can do if he lives up to his potential, right? So what we think, right? Because I'm not saying he can pull this off. But if he is as good as people say, he should be able to go in there based off his style, based off this, according to Matt, fading version of Pacquiao, he should do
not fading, faded.
Okay, perfect. Fits my scenario better. He should do exactly what Pacquiao did to De La Hoya to Pacquiao.
But I don't want to see that happen. That was brutal to watch.
We have to.
Hold on.
We need you to pass
already lost. He's already passed the torch. What are we fucking talking about?
No, he's still fighting. He's
Yo,
still fighting.
Yo, when Jeff Horn stomps him worse because he's an old man, it's no. Say the torch is done, man.
No. You see what Klitschko did? He went in there. He got starched. He put up a good fight. He thought about the rematch. He said, "No, I'm passing the torch."
Okay,
he's a good kid. That is pass. He retired him. That is how you pass the torch. You don't fucking pass the torch because you beat a guy and he keeps fighting. He keeps making on legacy over there. No, you stop him and you retire him. You get him off the playing field.
Yo, Pacquiao,
that fighter no more.
Pacquiao's done, man. Pacquiao's done. He ain't winning.
So why is he penciled in
he's
for?
Not winning another fight against a top 10 opponent in the rest of his life.
So why did the world think he was robbed?
There are people that think he was robbed. I wouldn't say that. I would not say the world thinks he was robbed. I think that is a very controversial decision. I think it's less controversial than the first Timothy Bradley fight. Again, I scored it for Jeff Horn, so I mean I'm biased. Let's be real, because my scorecard says Jeff Horn won.
Yeah, the hipster pick. Let's go out to Scorsese again, who's done having sex.
Yo, that fight was fucking figs, bro. That fight was figs. Y'all ever seen a dude? Man, you ever seen Marriaga fight? He never stepped backwards, right? He fought Walters in the pocket. He fought Valdez, who probably got more power than Lomachenko. And he never stopped coming forward. Like, it ain't up to, you know what I'm saying? Lomachenko didn't put him on the back foot. He conceded to be on the back foot. That's some whole shit, man. That fight looked fixed. He dropped him with the left hand. Go look at it. They playing cue cards like, okay, remember what we talked about? My hands up, throw a left hand. Marriaga take 2 steps backwards, acting like he's trying to catch his balance. Then he turn his head and find a spot to fall. And then when you knock a guy down, you go jump on him, right? You go jump on him and hurt him. Nah, not him. Lomachenko said, oh, we playing in here. So come fight me in the corner and swing on me. Come on, you know you ain't in a real fight. Y'all see, let's say Jack DeGale when they was fighting each other. When somebody got knocked down, did they stop playing with each other anytime after that? Stop playing, man. And look, I didn't like Rigo Lomachenko before this fight, but if we gonna get that, we might as well get some. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? Ain't no reason why Rigo shouldn't get a fight. If we can watch that, we can watch 3 weight divisions down, 2 weight divisions down. That was some sissy shit, man. I like Lomachenko. I think he's skilled, but I just don't like the protection and the privilege. Y'all remember he fought for a title that he lost, and then he came right back and fought for the same belt vacant. Like, he shouldn't even been in that fight. But the privilege of this dude, man, it's starting to get on your damn nerves. And it makes it no better when you got Tim Bradley, Teddy Atlas being company men like everybody talking about. And just, I don't know, man. Like, there's so many dudes out there that you would like to see him against, but I don't know. You got to find somebody who's going to come in there and do the Jeff Horn. Fuck the Pacquiao top-ranked guy. Just come fight. Marriaga, I couldn't believe he wasn't fighting. No, I mean, his defense, I'll be honest, it was okay. He was bobbing and weaving, making Loma miss a lot, and Loma started questioning himself.
Easy to bob and weave when you ain't throwing punches. All you're doing is got your hands up.
Yeah, that's true, but still, he's not a defensive artist, and Loma was missing a lot of damn punches, and he wasn't stepping aside on them a lot of the times when it was open because he was frustrated. Like, yo, what? It was a circus show, and he even got frustrated during that, it looked like. But I don't know, man. They got to do better. Either you go up in weight. You can't keep calling out a 22-year-old Tank. I got favorite fighters out there, and I don't want to see them fight no damn 22-year-olds. I want to see that guy building. I don't care if he's a champion. I understand. Oscar De La Hoya had fucking 10 defenses before he fought Chavez Sr., and that was a fading fighter. So, like, you supposed to be pound for pound number 1, 2, 3, but you want to fight 22-year-olds. Fuck no, don't work like that. I'm not supporting that. But if they do make the fight, I ain't complaining. It's just like something at the end of the day got to give. Top Rank got to quit trying to let this man be great by himself. He good. We don't mind win, lose, or draw. You just give it to us how it's supposed to be given to us in a fair way. Let Nicholas Walters win 10, 12-month layoffs. No, that make Jason Sosa the best opponent on his resume because it was a fair fight. Jason Sosa was coming off a big win. And you can't talk about Russell. The dude they was prospects. They both prospects. And to answer your question, I think Tank Davis will beat the hell out of Gary Russell at 130 right now, and they should make that fight a year from now. It should be a big fight in the DMV area. Just to, that could be a step up, and then Lomachenko in about 2 years. That's how I see it.
All right. Moscow Zezzy, thanks for calling. Dan, he said Lomachenko in about 2 years. That sounds like a long time from now. But I hear you. I don't know, man. Tank might be a little more confident now that he was able to watch Marriaga have limited success. I mean, look how many people are calling in saying that Marriaga had good defense for kind of staying on the back foot, playing on the ropes, keeping his hands up. I'm going to keep all that shit in mind myself so that people can say that is good defense next time I see it. But I do like the Russell Davis fight. It's a Heyman fight, so it could be done. But I just don't see why Russell would do that. Russell is the one that needs to move up to actually make that one happen. So he's going to have to be submissive, right, Matt? In a way, he would be submissing to being the B side by saying, I'm moving up and I want to call out Davis, right? Or is he saying that's the most vulnerable champion? I mean, how do you look at it? I don't know.
I'm sorry, because I'm doing a pre-production for overtime. Can you repeat that question in maybe a more succinct manner? You said something about Gervonta Davis being, easy because he's young? That's all I really got.
If Russell moves to 30 and the first fight is Davis, or he starts to call out Davis, I mean, how do you receive that?
I love that. I think that's a really good thing. Let's be honest. Top level elite guys in one division moving up and facing the top guys in another division is stuff that we ask for. Like, we routinely ask guys to move up a division and face champions in that division. Would I like Gary Russell to maybe fight other guys in his weight class first? Absolutely. But let's say if he's having a hard time making the weight, then yeah, move up and challenge Gervonta Davis. I think that's a fantastic fight. And isn't Gary Russell from the DMV area?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that can instantly sell out the Armory, I'm assuming, if not maybe a bigger venue, to be completely honest, with those two guys and how that fight would probably sell and how those two characters will mesh in a press conference. I think that'd be very fascinating. I'll be hyped on that fight. I'm okay with that.
I would like to see that. Russell is such a mature fellow, man of not many words, but because of that hometown rivalry, the fact that they know each other, they have to have known each other and all that. I don't know. Armory only holds around 7,000. That's good though. I mean, neither man is known to get to that point, to 7. So I think if they go for the Armory to sell it out, that's worth it. You know, shooting for 10 right now. I don't know. I mean, look at Loma, 28 and now 4. Slow build. You know, we shouldn't do it any different. Slow.
Well, Loma has a way bigger base in LA that he's self-cultivated. I mean, Top Rank, first off, has a presence in LA that is.
Yeah, but he only got 4 though, Matt. He only got 4 though.
Yeah, but think about how small the Ukrainian population is. You probably got a good percentage of that population to go to his
event. I wasn't trying to single out just any one.
But that's LA though. Like when we have Roman Gonzalez, we get Nicaraguans. Like we don't get.
I'm just saying, overall, I'm just thinking numbers is all I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
And because he's only done 28 and now 4, I mean, I don't think it's a bad number for them to, excuse me, try to reach that 7 between the two, between Gary and Davis. 7 is doable, and it should be considered an achievement.
Agreed.
I feel.
Yeah.
These are our final thoughts, right? So we might as well.
Yes, we're gonna go to overtime. So if you do not know what that is,
join us.
You want to join us? You want to plug it?
Tell you to join us at Patreon, which is on patreon.com/theboxingvoice. This will be episode 16 now, right?
Yes.
The SEC. We got a lot to talk about, and we'll be doing that over on Patreon for our weekly episode of Overtime. You know, we have what seems to be Jose coming in on a very late check-in.
Jose, what are you doing here, man?
Yeah, no, he'll join us on Overtime anyway. He has a few subjects of his own that he wants to speak about. Sal, you too, hit us up on Patreon, you know, because we're out, man. We got the beats. Matt is almost finished, right? You ready? Almost ready to schedule over there?
Well, we have to actually end the show.
I know.
Schedule.
Making sure everything is all ready to go.
YouTube is already scheduled, so if anyone wants to, well, I don't know if you posted on Patreon yet, so maybe you can't. You can't go yet. Sorry, you have to wait for us to finish
later.
But final thoughts. Lomachenko, you're elite. You're top 5 at least pound for pound, in my opinion. Yeah, I think he's an awesome fighter. I think he's an awesome boxer. I think he is highly skilled. I want you to fight guys that are close to your level. I'm done with the Marriagas. I'm done with the Jason Sosas. I get that sometimes guys need a tune-up. I'm just not going to be interested because I know we're going to get this every single time. Claressa Shields, shout out to you for winning your title in 2 world titles. I think it was the WBC and the IBF. In your 4th pro fight, shout out to you. Mauricio Herrera and Soto Karass, you guys are legends in your own right in a way. You guys can ride off into the sunset. I'm good. You guys gave us great fights. And I can't wait for the next Mayweather McGregor All Access next week. Can't wait to chop that up. And can't wait to see what Paulie does on Twitter still. I think he is just hilarious at this point. But yes, catch us on Overtime, theboxingvoice.com as well. And I'm Matt the Hipster Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, etc. Peace.
Peace, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. Don't forget to thumbs up this episode and share it. Make sure you put a friend on. Let him know. Shout out to Steve Willis on the check-in. He really enjoyed that Amir Khan episode. I'm so happy that you
shout out to Steve Willis, man.
And let us know if you're going to be in town in January, baby. We could use
in LA specifically.
Yeah, in LA specifically. I mean, he knows because I told him in January if he's in LA. But yeah, you know, we could use a good ref, man. I don't want to, I want to make sure anybody I knock down is getting the proper 8 count. You know, just saying. Hashtag just saying. You know what I'm saying? Peace.
Peace.